Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab.
Hey,
That's
everybody.
Talitha. I am Travis. It's Monday, and that means it's time for Monday Night Raw.
It is time for Monday Night Raw. Who's ready? Is everybody ready for Monday Night Raw?
Who wouldn't be?
Because it's happening.
I think people wouldn't be. There's supposed to be some title fights tonight. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on tonight. Big E's going to be on. Kind of looking forward to that.
That's a rumor.
Yeah, but it's perpetually. Who wears a hat like that? Seriously.
Weirdos like you.
Can you let me go live?
You're the one that put it on yourself like that.
And you let it happen. Anyways, I was just going to say we're going to have a title match tonight. We're going to have one half of the women's tag team champions, Natalya, going up against Rhea Ripley also. We're going to have Charlotte. She's in a match with Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll have something to do with Nia Jax.
That's insane.
Should be pretty exciting.
I thought it was Shayna Baszler. You think Nia Jax is going to come down and
That's what I said.
interrupt everything
That's what I said.
so she can be part of it because she feels left out?
She always feels left out.
Anyways, we do have people in the chat. We got Walter in there. He's going to be in here later, though. He's telling us that Smojo got injured. Aaron's out there. Sophie's in there. Alita and Chris is out there. Hello, everybody.
Welcome
was
to
your
the party.
weekend? The
It's not a
WWE
Kid Rock song.
Championship.
Welcome to the party.
I don't know. Maybe.
My name's Kid Rock and I'm a Capricorn. And Detroit City is where I was born. There he is! The rumors are correct. We didn't even have to wait. I should have shaved my face.
Why would you do that?
I need somebody that pays attention to me around. Like,
So the rumors were true about this one.
Big E gonna cash in tonight?
I don't know.
Are we gonna have a new WWE World
Aaron's
Champion?
is saying that Bobby Lashley is apparently taking a break, and so that's why they're going to do all this.
Like a
And
Kit Kat bar?
That's why Big E's on there, and they're also going to book it to where Randy wins the title, and then Big E cashes in on Randy, and then what would they do with MVP? Well, you move him to SmackDown, and then you have him manage Brock Lesnar. There. That's some booking right there.
That sounds fascinating. I don't agree with 1% of that, but
I really don't.
they're
want
not going to
Big E
put the
win at
title
all.
on Randy just to turn around and lose it again. But they do want him to get up there, probably 16, 17 championships. I think that he'll be the guy because he stayed with the company.
He
He's
already
been loyal.
is happening. Randy Orton's music just hit.
Right. That's not what I'm talking about. This isn't a title fight, but yeah.
I didn't say it was. I just say that.
It's RK Bro. Look at that snake.
Does that mean Big E's just down there to support the New Day because they're going to have all those tag team matches now?
Possibly. Because it's a new day. Yes, it is. Sucker.
Sophie's letting you know that your thumbnail needs to be updated since most of those people on it don't work at WWE anymore.
I honestly don't care. But yeah, it's my emergency one because I don't work on thumbnails right now.
So you better, get that done just so Sophie doesn't have a complaint.
It's fine. It says Raw on it. Shit, my Friday one is Becky Lynch's face. For like the past 3 weeks. It's Becky
Sophie's like with the Mojo injury, it split the fan base. Some people believe it and some people don't for some reason. I don't really care. I'm glad he's not the champion anymore. He didn't need to be the champion. It was stupid that he was the champion.
They'll probably put the
place.
championship on some little kid that they'll find. Somebody that's 4'7", weighs 113
I think they will with Vince running it. I don't know if he'll pull that.
I don't know. On Tuesday, they were doing a number 1 contenders match. So tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And it is O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, I believe, LA Knight, and some other little guy. And LA Knight's not very tall.
Right.
So basically, I like LA Knight out of the group because he's the best talker out of them all. You can carry the microphone with him. But basically, that's what you're looking at. So all 4 of those guys are tiny.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it's what's his name? Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, yeah,
That's the other guy. So not one of them's 6 foot tall with sliders or heels on or whatever they're called. Those wedges in their boots.
Lifters.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Alita says, hi, everyone. As Sophie says, they're apparently doing the WWE Championship match tonight because AEW Dynamite beat Raw on one of the demos last week. I thought it was because they weren't sure they wanted to do it on, what's that one, next one? Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, this title fight?
Yeah. Chris says, I think that Samoa Joe injury is kayfabe. Alita says Seth is on tonight, Nia's on, and Joe has relinquished the belt. Yeah, he had to. Chris says we are having a tropical storm right now. I'm not looking too good. Hopefully don't lose power, but I don't know if I want to watch Raw. Maybe if Bliss is on.
She'll probably show up at some point.
Aaron's like, here we go, Raw time, and it's time for Big E to get his chance to shine. No. Never. And Sophie's like, are they setting up Big E versus Bobby versus Randy Orton in a triple threat elimination match? For
Please don't cash it on Randy. Look at Randy. He's like, oh my God.
Randy!
Why are you making fun of my voice?
Aaron's like, no, because Bobby is going to Bellator. I don't think so.
You know
that
what
seems silly.
You know what they should do is they should remake Scooby-Doo and have him Shaggy. I think it would work.
Yeah. He could probably do that. Aaron's like, no, because Bobby's going to Bellator, and he wants to fight him, and Alita wants to fight him also. Aaron's like, I can kick Bobby's ass. Yeah, right.
I'm sure you could. If he turned around and stuck it out.
Aaron's like, he has no chance against me. Woo. Chris is like, LA Knight, baby. And Sophie says that #1 contenders match is now going to be for the NXT Championship. Yep.
Is it? So we're going to get one of those 4 guys as the champion.
Yep. Not surprising.
Ouch.
Alita says LA Knight is no bigger than Finn. No, he's
not even a little bit.
Sophie says at least we are getting fresh matches tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, fresh matches.
"14 years ago."
Wow, that's a long time. Look at that specimen that you are. You're a specimen.
Politicking.
No politicking. Yeah, he's Randy Orton. So Bobby is now going to do what Brock Lesnar does by taking breaks every week.
That's okay. I'm okay if he takes a break, if he's champion.
Alita says, have never seen Trashley break character. Rojan Limbu is in the chat.
Hey.
Says, when is Charlotte's match?
We don't know yet. Right now, it's still the opening segment. We got Randy Orton out there with Big Bobby Lashley. Big E's out there with his briefcase.
The Clown Prince?
I thought so, but yeah.
The Clowns.
I was like, is it crowned?
Clowns.
The crowned prince. The clown prince.
Your opportunity to establish yourself.
That ain't happening.
So he's like, the script for tonight's
Did you hear Bobby? I'm not. I'm not. He's not scared of those guys.
I'm not scared.
I'm glad that you're not scared.
We don't want you to be scared. So it's like they are planting the seeds for a Bobby versus Big E feud. Maybe.
That's what we want to see anyways.
We have Roberto in the chat. Hey, Roberto, saying hello. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Roberto, how are you? Did you have a good weekend?
So what I'm hoping to happen here is that Bobby beats Randy. Big E is going to cash in but can't get it pulled off. Then Big E says, you know what? I'm going to cash in my money in the bank at Extreme Rules. We're going to have a fight. And he actually plans it. Because we see that every once in a while. And that'll make him uber babyface. Look looks like a little sock puppet.
He does
Compared to
look like
these
a
guys,
sock
he's like...
Somebody has their hand up his asshole and is making him talk. Somebody's like, so last week's episode of Raw didn't matter because they canceled that tag team championship
You're weak,
match
Bobby.
out of nowhere.
Come on, Bobby.
He's going to taste the fine print.
Ink is no longer toxic. It used to be in the old days, but it's not toxic anymore. Oh shit, he dropped his briefcase.
Oh my god.
Where's Corbin? That'd be funny if he's just standing there and he had it.
He's like, wow,
I won the
got
lottery
so
again.
lucky again. And then
RKO out of nowhere. Randy Orton just hit Bobby. Is Big E gonna cash in right now? He said that Randy had a weak body. Like, come on, dude. Not everybody can be built like Adonis. But seriously, Randy's not weak in any
They're trying
shape,
to say
form.
Randy's weak.
That's what he said. Bobby said, with your weak body.
Oh, that's funny. It's got to say something shit talky, right? Oh, Lita's like, we take breaks on Char in anyways. So it was like Sami Zayn contract ends at the end of the year, but I don't see him doing what Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, etc. did by turning his back on the WWE.
He definitely could. He doesn't like his character. That's Cruella. Charlotte.
Does not like his character?
Yeah.
He doesn't?
No. I mean, he might have a little bit more freedom now. WWE, I think, is going to be changing over the next few months anyways. The whole show, the whole thing.
Right.
With AEW putting a little bit more pressure on them. AEW is not doing as good as AEW thought they were going to be doing, but they are doing better than some thought they would be doing.
Oh.
Like, Vince didn't think they would be getting 1.3,
Right.
right? And now he's looking at that going, can 1.3 turn into 1.8 or 2? And right now, the guys that they brought in, my opinion, is they're not good enough. Daniel Bryan's not good enough to carry a TV show by himself.
No.
You know, he's not a Roman Reigns type. Roman beat him. But he does have a lot of fans, and he can help.
Right.
But how much money are they paying Daniel, CM Punk, and Adam Cole now?
Yeah, exactly.
And is it worth 100,000 100,000 people watching at home each?
Right.
That money. Is that money worth that? And I don't think it is. Especially if they're paying them $1 million each or around that.
Right. Yeah, probably not. I wouldn't think it would be, but...
Because you can't pay $3 million to people to get just a couple views. Meg decided to go ape on a fly and take the microphone with her.
She's like, they're after me. She's like, I'm leaving. I don't want to be here. So it's like the WWE might be losing two guys in the next few months with both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' contracts ending a month apart from each other.
It happens. I do like Kevin Owens. I like his character. I like what he can bring to the table. I don't hate him at all. Like, there's no ill blood there.
Right.
So it would be wise for WWE to try to hold on to him because he can actually bring quality to the show. Daniel Bryan brings in the Yes Chance, and that's pretty fun. Adam Cole did nothing, so we don't see anything. And CM Punk hasn't been there since 2014. Andrade I loved. I really did like Andrade. I liked Alistair, now Malachi Black. I think those guys add quite a bit.
Right.
But I feel like those 5-6 guys that I just named on AEW, all of a sudden, that's a whole show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you take a whole show of the WWE rejects over the last year, where's the AEW guys? Are they going to be able to be on TV? Are they going to be able to fit them in? And, I mean, you could put Ruby Riott in there, too. Has there any other women that's come? Chelsea Green, if she showed up.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the only other one now is like what, Tessa Blanchard, if they even did that. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think that'd be stupid if they did her.
If they did that, it would probably pay per match type of thing without a contract.
Stop, Meg. I'm gonna put you in the house. You're gonna be annoying. Anyways, we have James Sotelo in the chat. Hey, James. Danny Barron's in the chat. Hey, Danny. Jason Michael's out there, too. Hey, Jason.
Anybody in here that's new, make sure you're subscribing, hanging out with us.
Yeah. James Sotelo says, are you at the park? No, it's actually our backyard.
Oh, we should do that, though. Just drive around parks in like a creepy van and just do our show right out the gate.
A creepy van.
Just open the tailgate. Just be like,
some candy.
Welcome to watching Wrestling Gap. No, that's our yard. I did move the wheelbarrow, so it didn't look so obvious that I don't do any wheelbarrow work. It's been sitting there for like a month. It's just filled with rocks that I got out of the grass when I was tilling the yard.
Meg, I'm going to throw your ass in the house. You're being annoying.
She doesn't care, and people at home don't care. It takes you about a half hour to get her into the house.
It's fine. It's better than what she's doing right now.
Right. She's trying to get under your legs.
Mm-hmm, because of the flies.
2
Danny
and
Barron
3.
says, hey, Wrestling Gab, interesting words MVP said. Can this be a tease of a new Hurt business?
You know, I was thinking that same thing. I was kind of hoping that Kofi or Xavier would turn on Big E when he goes to cash in. Like they come out with him. And then when he goes to cash in, they turn on him and then it botches his cash in. And then starts a new Hurt business.
Right. So it was like Mick Foley's in hot water with the WWE with what he said in his video that he posted last week about AEW.
It means nothing. He's made his millions.
So I was like, do you think TNT is happy with the ratings of Rampage the last 3 weeks? I have no idea, hon.
Absolutely not. But it's their own fault. You can't have a wrestling show on at 10 o'clock Eastern. It doesn't work.
No.
You're competing against Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And then across the country, especially in the fall, if you do your time changes for each time zone, you're going to move into the Central. Then you're talking about high school night football. Texas, that's a big deal. And then if you keep moving out, now it's 8 in the mountain, you know?
Yes.
And then you're going to be at 7 o'clock on the Pacific time zones. Nobody's going to be watching that shit.
I mean, I don't want to. Jason Michael just says, hi, Wrestling Gab, and hi, Jason. Sophie says nobody wants to touch Tessa. Alita says,
well,
hi,
people
Jason.
probably want to touch her, but they can't.
Alita says, all new, hit the like button, right? And subscribe, huh? Yep.
So we're starting it out with Charlotte.
Why are you guys not in your regular room anymore? Does it give you anxiety, Sophie?
Is it because of the change?
Is it because of change? Do you not like change? P. Cole is in the chat, though. Hey, P. Cole says it looks very clear today. Much better than that windstorm the other
Can you see straight back behind her that tree that's laying on the ground? That was one branch that fell out of that tree back there.
What? You guys didn't like our windstorm? You didn't like our weather report?
Hurricane Hugo. Old Charlotte. She going up against Baszler. This should be a pretty good match.
You think?
Absolutely.
I think Shayna's actually going to do something?
Yeah, she's going to do that little arm stomp thing and her crippling holds that she does because she doesn't do anything else. Mm. And then you're going to see Nia Jax, whether Nia comes out with her and costs her the match or Nia comes down and costs Charlotte the match. I don't think this is a title match.
I don't think so either because they just advertised her being the champion at Extreme Rules.
Right. Well, we know that's happening, her and Bliss. And the Blister could show up also. So there's a lot of little things that could happen here. Have they moved on and they're just going to go Shayna Nia and move Nia on from Charlotte?
Maybe. Because
of all the tension that maybe was going on, and then so now it's Bliss going to come down and interfere? Or come out right after the victory?
Maybe. That's a possibility. For her to come out after the victory.
So it looks like she's alone right now, but do they always come out alone? And then Nia would come out with her?
I don't think that,
Or have they done a full break?
I don't know if they've done a full break yet. Close.
Well, so we'll hear it right now. Corey's explaining us.
Thank you, Corey.
Is this earlier? This isn't right now.
Earlier today.
Who do you think you are, traitor? She already beat her.
I've already beaten.
So no beef. All right, Shayna's a little upset with Nia, but I think Nia is going to stab her in the back with a prison shank.
I don't know. Maybe she might with a prison shank.
Probably a plastic fork.
It's probably a plastic spoon.
Yeah,
a
that
big
she's
one
sharpened.
That she sharpened. Alita says,
Or a
here it's a
toothbrush
big
handle.
deal, actually born in Georgia. What's a big deal there, Alita? Sophie
that
says, do you
Shayna?
think AEW Rampage will be in big trouble competing against whatever other TV show will be on at that time on whatever network with the fall TV season back next week?
Do they really play shows at 10 o'clock?
I just don't think they're going to play anything that late. Most of the prime time is from 6 o'clock. Actually, most of prime time is from like 7 to 9.
Right.
Our time.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, 10 o'clock Eastern is 8 our time, I guess. So, it's pushing. And I know Fox changes their times per where they're broadcasting, but other companies don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that 10 o'clock Eastern, you're wiping out a freaking more than half of your fan base, or right around half of your fan base. You know how many big cities are in that time zone?
A lot.
There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about it, all of Florida, Atlanta, right? You move up, you've got all of the Carolinas. I don't know if there's any really, I mean, Durham and Raleigh and all those, but they're not huge, but they're big enough. You get on up here, the Virginias. You've got Washington, D.C., which is big.
Yes.
Pennsylvania, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
All of Massachusetts.
Right.
So there's Boston in there. You got New York State, New Jersey. Yes, New Jersey. They watch wrestling also. But you go all the way over to Detroit. So that's a lot of places.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is a lot of places.
And I feel like if you're not going to put it on when they can see it, that's just dumb. Might as well have it on Hawaiian time if you're going to do that. Just have it on at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, fuck it. People in Europe are watching. Raw.
Piccola says, do you think you're better off alone? Ha ha. Who? What are you talking about, Piccola? Who's better off alone? Shayna? Sophie says, Nia and Shayna have been teasing a breakup on and off all year, starting on the road to Mania. Alita says, high school football, and so does NBC. Ravi says, square for the win, and thanks for being with us tonight, Ravi. Did you wake up? You got your snacks to keep you awake?
Yeah, now that I think about that, they do also, because I remember watching like Olympic stuff, and Gordon told me what would happen like an hour before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had changed that for the Olympics too. For prime time.
Right, yeah, primetime stuff.
So their shows are probably that way also.
Uh-huh. Piccola says, who watches TV program live anymore when you can DVR it and catch it on your convenience?
Right, and I understand that, and that's what I do. I try to record it and watch it later. But I did watch it this Friday because I wanted to watch the Andrade Pac match.
He did. He watched it. Sophie says
They started out with a bang. They started out with their best match, and then they just slowly got worse. They got to the point where it was freaking Brian Adams, or what is his name? Brian Pillman.
Oh, yeah, Brian Pillman Jr.
In the main event. It was like, what the fuck is
Against
this?
Dante, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Max Caster.
Max Caster.
I mean, seriously, if that match was on AEW Dark, I would understand it. I'd be like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'd like to see these. The main event on Rampage? No, come on. And then at the end to save it, to see if like two people were still watching at home, they brought out Jon Moxley to clean house because they were in Cincinnati. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be shitting me. That is not our dog.
Some weird neighbor dogs.
Super excited about something.
Right? And Sophie says the news is on at 10 on all of the networks except for maybe 1 or 2. Robbie says, whatever they do, it will be too late at night for us Brits. And James Satella says, you have a big backyard, you can play football.
Yeah, you could.
Alita says Memphis, Missouri. she's giving you some more places.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, yeah, absolutely. It's just...
Right, down where she's at, Georgia. I mean, like, you could just keep going down the whole East Coast of how many big
right,
cities
and you can start
there
coming
are.
over, you know, westward.
Picola says, I believe if you're a wrestling fan, record it and watch the CW stuff or New Chicago Hope, etc. live. Yeah. Sophie says, why couldn't they put Rampage on a Thursday night at 8 or 9 p.m. instead of Friday nights at 10?
Exactly.
And Robbie says, I'm in bed, D. Well, good for you.
That would take out Impact.
I'm in bed, too.
I mean, and they don't want to go up against Impact because they have Impact guys on their show, but Impact would just have to move again. That's fine. Shit, they could even put it on Saturdays, guys. In the day, like 4 o'clock. That'd be fine.
We're back from commercial break, guys. We're back with Charlotte and Shayna Baszler. This is not for a title. This is just them having a match.
I thought you were going to say this is not a drill.
Meg, do you want me to put you inside? Don't have to deal with flies.
I don't think it has anything to do with flies.
Jim Mahal says, a wise man once said, I love it, but doesn't mean I have to like it.
Exactly. 2 and
Alita
Shayna
says,
kicks
I
out.
do. Robbie says, as long as Darby is on AEW, it's all good. Picola says, that sounds like Toby Keith lyrics to me. And Sophie says, so AEW Rampage is supposed to be like WCW Saturday night?
Anything. I mean, they got to change this. It's not going to work. 670,000 people. Or, yeah, 670,000 people. Oh, come on. You can do better than that.
Picola says, never mind, it's Tim McGraw. Robbie says, D, my motto is stream and comfort.
Oh, shit.
Me too.
Charlotte landed right on the back of her neck.
And Robbie's like, chomp, chomp. Yeah, chomp, chomp. Sophie says, who will watch wrestling on Saturday afternoon? It isn't like the old days.
Exactly. Put it on. 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. That shit works. Look at this. Watch Charlotte's head.
It wasn't too bad.
No. Charlotte fixed it at the end, but she was going head first at first. Charlotte wants some. Shayna's like, get some.
Is that what they're saying?
That's exactly what she said. See right here. Get some. Charlotte big lariat.
It's a horrible match.
All Shayna Baszler's matches are terrible. And it's not her fault. It's she doesn't know how to wrestle. So she does grappling, which is fine. But she can't do a lot of stuff. You're not going to see her running around. And remember her in the Mia Yim match?
Oh my god.
Oh shit, the Judas effect. 1, 2. Shayna gets out.
Alita's like, that's when I take my true sleep. Right? In the
11
Saturday afternoons.
The 11 o'clock nap.
Robbie says Square has nice pens. Sophie says AEW Dynamite gets 1 million viewers the last 3 weeks with Rampage doesn't get that many viewers. What happened?
It's the time. I bet you they would get more views if they came on at 6 on Fridays. Going head to head with freaking SmackDown.
Probably.
We're never going to see that, but I bet you it would get just as many, if not more. Because people would be awake. Or not going out getting strange. I think they underestimate that guys watch wrestling too. You know what I mean? Like, well, it must just be women. So let's put it on at 10. And do women not go out and get strange?
Oh my god, yeah they do. Hello.
I figured women like to go to the bar
do you
too.
think babies come from? Especially ones out of wedlock.
Harlots. Just kidding. Charlotte lands it. The crowd's going nuts. That crowd loves Charlotte, by the way. It's funny. So many people. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. The Twittersphere hates her.
Hey, look.
But in reality, the fans love this woman.
Nia Jax.
She said, suck it. Or lick it, I guess. I don't know what that means. I mean, it means suck it when DX did it, but it's a woman.
I'm sure that's what it means the same. But Nia said no.
She's like,
No.
wash my tongue out with soap.
Piccolo says, if it's Saturday, I'll be drinking a pint and watching college football. And James says, are the referees contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
They have contracts.
Ravi says, I thought Shayna was meant to be some UFC badass. She was a UFC badass.
She is. She's
champion.
just not a wrestler. She's getting better, and she's not horrible. She's just not a great wrestler.
Right.
In the showmanship of wrestling.
Yeah.
She does holds and it's very slow and methodical, her style. Mm-hmm. It's not horrible. Some people like that. It just causes a slower match.
Yes. Alita says, yes, they are contracts. Sophie says, I heard that AEW doesn't hype their shows during whatever is on that network weekly.
I see their commercials all the time.
I know, right? Me too.
We were watching The Equalizer on Friday, right after the show came on, the Nitro or whatever, what's it called? Rampage.
Uh-huh.
And they had like 2 or 3 Wednesday night commercials on there for Dynamite.
Ravi says Shayna is a wet fish. And Alita says, I get strange every now and then, or used to.
Oh, right.
Piccolo says they call it brunch and add orange juice to their champagne for some mimosas.
Mimosa.
Sour Sweets in the chat. Hey, Sour Sweet says, you saw that face Nia did. Oh, totally.
Yeah, she didn't like any
And
of
as
that.
Alita says, I'm with Nia, barf.
Yeah, she didn't want to suck any of that.
Sophie says, who knows how they decide when they put Rampage on and what time they probably went through some scenarios for months.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that AEW picked that time. I bet you that's just a slot they had open, and they said, hey, this is where you can be.
For now. And that can change, guys. That's not like it's a major permanent thing.
Well, it is if they're only going to be pulling in 600,000 people.
Yeah, but they have to know it's because of the time, not necessarily
right.
the
Well,
content.
yeah, I mean, Dynamite's going to carry that show. So if Dynamite starts rising and rising and rising, then you're going to see it change to a different time. And you don't worry about your competitors other than you want to be them, be better than them. Mm-hmm. You don't say, well, we can't be on at 6 because, you know, we have reruns of freaking Big Bang Theory. Or I don't know what they're doing on there. I'm just making up a show, but...
We have a movie at that time, so...
Yeah, well, stop.
Supernova's like, yes, I did. Sweet. And Ravi says that moonsault could have gone wrong.
It always does, right,
Kiwi
with her.
Lollipop's like, yeah, almost puke up. Alita says moonsaw.
She's like,
Luna's in the chat saying my back
Luna.
just locked up tightly. Pickle says, fun fact, women will drink light liquors to hide the smell. It masks it better when they have to blow in the breathalyzer. Jeez. Is that how it works?
Is that science?
Let me make notes. Just kidding. Jamal McGee's in the chat saying Jericho with food in his mouth, the chewdus effect.
Yes, my favorite, the old shootist effect.
Alita says the center followers you can count out, right?
All right, we're back. Shayna Baszler.
And Sophie says, I mean, for Rampage, I don't see any commercials for it except for the 1 or 2 times they show it on Raw. TNT is going to have a lot of open slots soon. Gothflesh is in the chat saying, my leg went rough. And my leg went rough. Okay.
Like a dog bark?
No, like
raw, probably.
G-H, raw.
Raw.
Oh, raw.
I would assume that's what that means.
My bad.
Or numb. Oh, Charlotte down on that neck again. Shayna Baszler wants to slow this match down. That's where it favors her. Mm-hmm. She's bearing that knee. That's too much knee, Shayna. Cover it back up. Just kidding. You can't see it. She's got tights on. But that shit's funny.
Yes, totally.
So she uncovered her own knee and Charlotte went right after it.
She's like, oh, you want to uncover
Now
your
she's
knee?
going to tear that knee up.
Sophie's like, Tony Khan
She
probably
flipped her off.
wanted Rampage on a Saturday.
She flipped off Nia.
And Robbie said it should have been a title match. You think this should have been a title match?
What is that, like voodoo? Is she doing a curse?
I don't know what
Was
she's
that a
done.
curse? Was that witchcraft?
Maybe.
Is it called
Charlotte.
necromancy?
Charlotte is kind of witchy.
Little necromancy? You know what that is?
Necromancy?
Necromancy?
Yes, it's when you bring people back from the dead.
No, it's witchcraft.
It's when you bring people from the dead.
I know, but I looked it up and it said that it was witchcraft. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Charlotte. Emphatic victory. Nia looking all piff on the outside, all pretty.
Did she interfere enough that she made Shayna lose?
Yeah, a little bit. She was up on the ring apron. Shayna's pissed.
So he was like, this is a fresh match. And Jamel says, is Kevin Owens AEW Elite? No.
See, it's right here. And then she yelled at her. And then big boot. That's
why.
it.
Mitzi says, my tailed locked itself.
Your tail?
Tailed? Locked itself? So he says, and my neck went crack. Nice.
I try to make my neck pop all the time, but it never works. Here she comes! I guess the number 1 contender. We don't really do that in WWE TV, but with AEW doing it, we might as well try to do it.
Does she have a present for her?
Oh, she's bringing her out a gift. She already has the gift of gab. Now, maybe she's bringing her out something.
Maybe. Pico says, do you remember when the Hitman did the upside down figure 4 onto the outside post? I thought that stuff was so cool when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Old Brett the Hitman.
And Ravi says, WWE will be better when Bayley and Banks are back. Sophie says, ever since both companies went back on tour, it feels like it is a makeup year for them.
You know, I never really liked Bayley.
Right?
But she is so good at wrestling.
She makes a lot of people look good.
That she makes the other people look fantastic in the ring. And you don't realize it until she's not there, and then you're like, oh, this women's division's struggling. But when she's in there, first of all, she's annoying, and second of all, which is she's trying to be, so she's doing her job.
Oh, how sweet.
Take it, Charlotte.
Ooh, championships.
Crowd's definitely digging Charlotte.
Ravi's like, this Bliss gimmick is running thin. Ravi
Yes.
also says Bayley is too good. Starlight Glimmer says my bunny ears snapped off. And Sophia says Booker T said if Adam Cole becomes AEW champion, it will change the game, whatever that means. It is down.
Everybody loves a good gift. What's going to be in it? Take it! Take it, Charlotte.
Oh my god. Why doesn't she just have her open it for her? Is she going to smash it? No. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yes. This is like our arguments. Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. But you have to do it faster.
I can't do it. I'll forget what I'm saying.
I do love gifts.
Charlotte has it!
James says, if a wrestler like Ric Flair in the WWE Hall of Fame and goes to AEW, can WWE take him out of the WWE Hall of Fame?
They could, but they would not do that to Rick.
I couldn't, if they did, I
Well, they
couldn't
just
even
wouldn't.
imagine the death that would happen.
They wouldn't do it because of who he is. And
Open the gift.
they're the ones that released him because he wanted to do more.
What is it? Is it something creepy?
Is it a doll?
Is it a doll? Oh, it's a Charlotte
It's a Charlotte doll!
Oh my god!
Charlotte got her own Lily!
She's like, I don't collect dolls.
Charlie.
Oh god. Oh,
Charlotte's.
Jesus.
Charlie. 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 Charlotte's trying not to laugh. There, that'll take it away.
There you go.
Because I'm the queen.
I don't need friends because I'm the queen. But she should be ecstatic about that compliment, right? Pickle's like, it's spiders. Nope, it's a creepy doll. Sophie's like, are you going to buy WWE 2K22 since GM mode is rumored to be back?
No. Probably not. Every time I buy a wrestling game, I never even take the plastic off of it.
Lita says, love the purple. Ravi says, WWE new video games suck. Flash is like, Charlie? Pickle is like, looks just like her. Oh, locked up in a padded cell. That's nice. Sophie says, Ric Flair was an Impact when he got inducted in the Hall of Fame the second time.
Long live the queen.
Martha's like,
oh, she threw it right at her face.
Oh, rude.
That's
like,
Charlie.
The world makes it hysterical. So it was like with Ric Flair in the Hall of Fame, these goes the chance of evolution going into Hall of Fame in the future.
It'll happen. Can you imagine if Triple H went in 3 times?
Robbie's like, I hope Bliss does win the title.
Bam.
Robbie wants Bliss to win.
I wouldn't mind if Bliss won it. It'd be interesting. I don't know if they'll take it this far with this character.
Mm-hmm.
Of course she can. That's probably a sign of things to come. And she needs to win some more championships. I think she's got like 7. She got 6 or 7, yeah. Maybe 5. 5 to 7, somewhere in there. But we haven't seen her have one in a long time, and it made me upset for a while. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't mind to see her champion. I just kind of wish it wasn't with this character. But
well. He was born 3rd generation to be the best.
I don't know about his grandpa. I don't know a lot about his grandpa. I know his dad was decent. Bob Orton. He was pretty damn good, you know.
Yeah.
But he wasn't great. Never was a champion or anything like that. He always had a cast on and was the crooked guy. But Randy's definitely better than his dad was. But I don't know enough about his grandpa. But I'm assuming Randy has a lot more talent than his grandpa did also.
I don't know.
Where Bray Wyatt, 3rd generation, a little bit different, right? Because he's better than his dad, but I'm not sure he's better than his uncle, Barry Windham. Because Barry Windham was damn good. And Bray's probably right there on that level, but his grandpa's Blackjack Mulligan, who's a legend. So that's a tough one. I don't know if he's as good as his grandpa. He's a better talker.
Right.
But I don't know if he's a better wrestler than his grandpa. It's a different time, different era. Like, he, has all the razor blade scars, and he's, beat to shit. Crippled old man, if he's even still alive.
Yeah, that's kind of different than what they do now.
Right. They're doing a little bit more of it in AEW, the blood and stuff, but splitting each other open pretty easily and getting the job done, whether they're cutting themselves or if they're just letting the other person split them open. And sometimes it's accidental, like freaking Sammy Guevara throwing a chair at Matt Hardy's face, and it just split him.
Yeah, that was definitely not a plan.
No. Or when Matt Hardy... A lot of those accidents happen to Matt Hardy, huh? Matt Hardy going off the freaking crane or the step lift and powerbombed right on the concrete.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
Sophie says, if Ric Flair goes to AEW, there goes that chance of evolution going into the Hall of Fame. Sophie says Shawn Michaels might go in 1 or 2 more times. Robbie says Bliss cooking square up.
What would Shawn Michaels go in for?
Being a cross-eyed douche face.
Was he in another group that I don't know about?
Russell McIntyre's like coming out with knives. Robbie's like, Bob ain't losing tonight.
Unless you're talking about him going in as executive or something.
Alita
because
says,
the Rockers aren't going in. I don't think the Rockers did enough. But, like I said, in WWE, anybody can get in the Hall of Fame. All you have to do is be there for long enough.
Right. Sophie says both AEW and Impact want Bray Wyatt. I don't know which promotion who would benefit the most from signing him, though.
AEW. He's a guy that can carry their company. Like, put the whole load on him, and he can draw fans because of his talking. And he's a decent sized, and he's pretty good in the ring.
Yeah.
Him and Daniel Bryan can put on a match. And so it would be fantastic to see him there. But he would have to be Bray Wyatt, you know, or his name. Wyndham Rotunda would be perfect. I don't see anything wrong with that name. Sounds very wrestling to me. Because of his dad, Mike Rotunda.
Yeah.
And his uncle, Barry Windham.
Yep.
So it's as wrestling as it gets for me.
That's true. Very wrestling.
It almost sounds like a tag team. Wyndham and Rotunda. Which actually did happen, by the way. Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham did tag up. I think they're on WrestleMania 1 or 2 as a tag team. Which is funny, they were both in WWE.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Pico says, I liked how the guys were back then, because as far as I remember, Bob Orton or Rotunda stayed heel and were good as sniveling bad guys.
Yes. You know, and you had like Nikolai Volkov and you had Sergeant Slaughter. They were top heels in the company, and they just did really good jobs to make Hulk Hogan look good. Because they were all against Hogan, because Hogan was champion the whole time.
That's funny.
It's just a different world. Nowadays, it's so hard to have a baby face being the champion the whole time.
Right.
A lot of people just don't like the baby faces.
That's true.
And I don't know if people didn't like Hogan in the day. Maybe they didn't. I loved him, but I don't know if people actually hated him back then. I never knew anybody that didn't like him. But it's such a hard character, because that American dream, say your prayers, take your vitamins, you know, wake up, exercise, be healthy, love the world, stuff doesn't work anymore. People are like, oh my God,
dumb.
quit preaching.
That's so dumb. Right. Let's see. Ravi said message retracted. Sophie says Bob Orton was good in the feud with Taker with his son that carried SmackDown for most of the year.
Yeah.
Ravi says WWE have fooked Drew up the proper. Sophie says the Rockers for cross-eyed dude. Ian Glazer's in the chat saying, "Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm not watching Monday Night Raw today. I am back and forth NFL. My home team Raiders versus the Ravens." Well, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I forgot that the NFL was on.
Alita's like, my team played yesterday, so I'm good. And Adagio's in the chat saying, because it's Monday Night Football. And Ian's like, Allegiant Stadium, Monday Night Football. And JVD is in the chat. Hey, JVD, nice to see you in here.
It is good to see JVD
what's up, Trav and Dalitha?
Good
and
to see you in
everyone,
here.
I hope all is well. Everything's pretty good. How was your weekend?
Watching some football and your wrestling. That Allegiant Stadium is where the Raiders play.
Ah, yes.
So it must be a Raiders game on Monday night.
That's what Ian was saying. Raiders and Ravens.
Ah.
Vindicator's in the chat. Hey, Vince says, hey there, Travis and Dalitha. I'm glad to see you doing well on deck, hiding from the sunshine. Yes. So Ian's like, bye. James Satella says, is Terry Funk in the Hall of Fame?
If he's not, he should be. I don't know if he is. Terry Funk's probably still wrestling if he's not dead. That dude's on a different level.
So he says, there's rumors that if Bray Wyatt goes to AEW, he will debut on September 29th. And if he goes to Impact, he will debut sometime in October.
Right. I thought he couldn't even go until October 29th. But maybe it is September 29th. It was just 3 months from whenever he got released. Look at that from behind!
Oh, Jinder.
All three of them. Jinder Mahal,
beating him down.
Shinky, and
He's going to be able to get out of it, though, because, you know,
Veer.
he's Drew McIntyre.
Look at that, I'm learning their names. Takes me a while. Uh-oh. The Viking Raiders coming down to help. We're going to have a little six-man tag.
Right. Let's see. Vindicator's like, but what happened to the third co-host known as the Wind? I guess Mother Nature is
Meg.
on vacation.
She's here a little bit. She's hanging around. I can feel her.
Ravi says WWE is washed up like washing up liquid. Trust me. Alita says I grew to not like him. Sophie's like, I know someone who watches football every couple weeks instead of watching Raw. Vindicator says, I'm happy that I am late, by the way. I was told I missed a very terrible start to Raw.
Yeah.
If you're not a Charlotte fan.
Or Big E.
Big
E was there with Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley. I'll get it. I don't have my notebook anymore, so it's like, to go on my brain.
Alita says she grew to not like him. Piccolo says, I never disliked Hogan. I was just more into Ultimate Warrior when started watching.
Yeah, and that was a really good time to be into wrestling. I had already watched it for like 7 years before that, like since I was born. But yeah, the Ultimate Warrior was so exciting that I wasn't that heartbroken when he beat Hogan. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's how much I liked and I got mad at The Rock for beating Hogan 2 decades later or whatever.
So we have a 6-man tag match right now.
We do.
Drew and the Viking Raiders against Jinder Mahal and
Veer and Shanky. This Veer is going to be something if they use him right.
Right.
I think he has a future. He obviously probably isn't that great on the mic. I don't know.
They don't let him talk, so we wouldn't know yet. Rob's like, do you take your vitamins? No. Sophie says, what legends aren't in the Hall of Fame? A lot of them.
Yeah, I'd have to have the list, and I could compare it to the Legends list, because I have no idea.
Right. Alita says, I'm not one of them. And Piccolo says, JVD, I got a new avatar, homie.
Woo!
Robbie's like, Hall of Fame is a load of BS. JVD
It is.
says, Piccolo, I see, haha, I didn't notice you at first, LOL. Piccolo's like, nope, if he did, we're in. It was the Funk Brothers, not Terry alone. So if he got in, he's under
with the Funks
instead of just himself. Robbie says,
Terry and Gordy
not got the wind machine on today. No, Utah isn't sucking today. Piccolo says, yep, embrace the man bun fool, JVD. Sophie says, if AEW does have its own Hall of Fame, I could see them making it a real thing unlike the WWE does.
Right. I would like to see a building that we could visit, not an internet site.
Yeah.
If they even have that.
Sophie says Miss Elizabeth isn't in the Hall of Fame, which is still a surprise.
That should be a surprise to a lot of people, since she's kind of the first.
Mm-hmm. Piccolo says, I swear
That's
I haven't
guys.
talked to JVD about All Out stuff. And done again.
Big Claymore.
Drew gets the win. JVD says, hello, Piccolo and nice. All Out was the best pay-per-view I've seen in the last 5 years. Robbie says WWE won't use
Which
the
pay-per-view?
2 Indians, right? All Out.
All Out, huh? I honestly, the matches were okay. I don't know. I mean, AEW always does a good show, so I can't say it was the best one that they've had, but it was good, right? What'd you think?
I don't know. I really didn't enjoy it that much, but there were things on there that I thought was just stupid and took away from having good matches and what it should have been.
The matches were solid, right? They were solid.
Yeah.
They had a couple comebacks or whatever you want to call them. Surprise! There he is. That's what we want to see. I want to see Kofi and there he is, Woods, but I want to see him turn on him.
Yeah.
That would start the Hurt Business right up. Or he turns on them. They in Boston? Where are they at? Where's the beam?
No idea.
I thought they said it earlier and I was like, oh.
I have no idea where they're at tonight. Yeah.
I don't remember them ever doing this.
Never.
They said do it for old time's sakes.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't remember them ever doing that.
Right. Robbie's like, WWE won't use the 2 Indians, right? Ian says my Raiders are losing by 0-7 for the Ravens.
All right, Damian Priest has a open title match, an open challenge match tonight.
We don't have who's going to come out, so we'll find out. Alita says last game. I was like, do you not got much energy tonight? Not really. Sophie says, I don't have a fave wrestler that would make me turn my back on the WWE like you have Hogan when he went to WCW.
Yeah, I just left. I just went with him. Just followed right over. I mean, I had been watching the NWA for years. They were on Saturday afternoons at like 4:05 on the Superstation, and it got me out of chores. Like I could just quit and go watch wrestling for 2 hours and get to see Ric Flair and the boys. But then it changed. It went to WCW and they changed days and everything, and it was like eh. And then all of a sudden Hogan was there, and it was like, well, this is where I want to be. And then kind of all the WWE guys came over, or WWF guys came over, and it just kept going. Like it was just WWF, but on a different channel. And then all of a sudden what was happening on WWF was so dumb that I couldn't watch it. They had split up all the good tag teams to make singles wrestlers. And I understand that Vince was desperate at the time. He broke up the Rockers. He broke up the British Bulldogs. He broke up the freaking Hart Foundation because he was desperate for somebody, and those guys were good enough. You know, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. And then he had guys like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, which I did like. I liked watching them, you know, like Razor Ramon. Mm-hmm. Razor Ramon. That shit was awesome, off the chain. So I liked watching those guys. So I'd flip back and forth a little bit.
Right.
But I was still so angry that he split up the tag teams that it was really hard for me to watch. They didn't have a women's division quite yet until WWE or WCW took over. And once they kind of started taking over and being a bigger show, then Vince went right to sex. And that's where you saw the bra and panty matches, and they advertised it for the whole show, and then it was like the main event. It was what was at the end. Mm-hmm. They had title matches on TV. They all swore. It was hard language. It was raw sex stuff, and it worked. It brought in a lot of people that wanted to watch that, and their ratings started to come back. A lot of people think it was because of the wrestling, but it obviously was the sex show, in my opinion.
It's because of porn.
And then WCW just went the opposite direction. Like, it was like watching a slow motion train wreck. What was happening over there? You're just like, what the fuck? It was because
they had an infiltrator.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Vince paid fucking homeboy to come over there and ruin that show. Vincent Russo. Mm-hmm. That Vince Russo, it was trash when he came over. And that's it. And then it was a downfall. But there for a while in their heyday, they were fantastic. One of the best shows. Well, it was. It was the best wrestling in the world between, 94 to 2000, or 99 at least. So about a 5-year run where it was like, hell yeah. And wrestling's never been the same since. The 2000s never got close to that era. It was good. It had The Rock. It had Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
But those guys all started getting injured. And they had the invasion angle that didn't really work. And then Vince wanted to bring in the NWO. And that worked a little bit. And that's when Hogan switched back. He became a babyface again. But good times in that era. The sex era. But the sex era is over now. And that's what I was telling people. I was like, you know what? If AEW wants Rampage to work, they got to go full sex. I mean, full sex on Fridays. Because what else is going to compete with bars, football, Friday nights? Sex will. Sex is one thing that can make it through.
True.
But do they have the balls enough to have bikini contests and wet t-shirt contests and
they can't do that
and
stuff
putting wrestling and things of that nature. And that's what, but it would work. But they would have to have the women come up with the ideas to do it.
Right.
Right? And make it completely the women's section. And make, the women go, well, I want to take you and I want to challenge you to this. And the men be like, no, you can't do that. Guys trying to cover them up. There's Reginald. Is that our truth? It is our truth.
Yeah.
Is Jeff Hardy going to be in this little... There's Gulak. I don't see Hardy.
I think there was Humberto was there.
Reginald having fun in the back with the semi-trucks. I do not see Jeff Hardy. There he is. Not Jeff.
Drake Maverick.
Old Drake. Drake Maverick's like the heartthrob on a soap opera. Drake.
Right.
It's Drake Maverick.
He's like, your plan didn't work. Your execution was a problem. Anyways, Vindicator says, I wish Lana was treated like Miss Elizabeth, but still be a singles wrestler. Lana had a similar style before she was wasted as Nia Jax's punching bag.
Right.
Pico says, I still plan to go to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Massachusetts. Ravi says, Drew the Jock. Sophie says, for some reason, my TV went to DirecTV channel while I was watching Raw. Ian says, hey guys, what's your favorite team, NFL? JVD says,
Dolphins.
Yeah, everyone wanted Hogan to go over The Rock at Mania 18. At least everyone
I did.
there live in Toronto wanted Hogan to live. James Sotelo says, do wrestlers have to go for physicals after matches? Ian says, my favorite team is Las Vegas Raiders. Lita says, why turn? JVD says, I wish we got Hogan versus Austin at Mania 18, though. Ian's a big fan of the Raiders. Sophie says, they announced the draft starting October 4th. Vindicator says, pay attention to Kofi's shirt, Travis. New Day is for life. Ravi says, do your favorite tag team?
It is because they are doing that, the whole NWO thing. They've been doing it for weeks.
After the 24/7
oh, it
belt
is Jeff Hardy.
because he's having a match. Alita says Massachusetts. Ian says Las Vegas Raiders. Sophie says, I don't watch football. My dad did. Sophie's like, they are in Boston. Alita says, the priest is here. And Ravi says, Vin, you going to buy the shirt? Piccolo says, wait, so I just Googled it. Wichita Falls, Texas has a pro wrestling Hall of Fame museum, but you're correct. WWE doesn't have a physical building for theirs.
No.
Yeah, which is fucking stupid.
I want to go see
it.
it.
Could you imagine how much money they would make off of not even just WWE, but a wrestling Hall of Fame? Like if they did a wrestling Hall of Fame, like building,
put in Impact guys, put
and
in
had
everybody.
every high top wrestler you've ever heard of, no matter what company they were from,
What country
had
they lived
their
in.
outfits, their boots, their stuff. Like families have like their father's things, and they put them in the fucking museum.
And the tour guide knows all about it, and he tells the stories, and they walk through
come on,
it.
who wouldn't want to go to something like that? As a wrestling fan, you guys would all just be pissing in your pants, drooling all over yourselves, waiting to go.
They could have pro wrestlers there every week, like a different wrestler every week that tells stories, too.
Right. Vindicator says Vegas Raiders would lose to the Viking Raiders 2-on-2 flag football. Alita says, right, Travis, I did chores during commercials. Ravi says, boo, Damian Priest. JVD says, I don't think Big E will cash in tonight. I think WWE is just trolling us, in my opinion.
Ratings,
Ravi's
probably.
like, Jeff Hardy, why? Pico's like, well, it sounds like Vince disappointed many fans in several decades. JVD says, Picola, yep. Picola also says, when the Attitude Era was at its peak, I still watched Nitro because I was a major Sting fan, and NWO was must-see TV.
It was until everybody in the whole entire company was in there. No, they moved. Everybody was in the NWO. They had a red brand. They had a white, the black and white. Mm-hmm. Then they had the black and red.
Oh.
And then they even had a Latino World Order.
Oh. And
that was like Rey Mysterio and
a whole bunch of other guys.
The guy that everybody likes. Excuse me's husband.
Guerrero.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero. He was in it.
Huh. Sophie says, do you see Bret Hart going into the Hall of Fame one more time?
No. The Hart Foundation was good, so if they want to put Jim the Anvil in there, I guess they could do it as a tag.
Right.
All right, we got Jeff Hardy, Damian.
Picola says, don't get me wrong, of course, everything TLC swung the pendulum into WWE's favor because that was just awesome tag matches. Sophie says, WCW, I heard they had a lot of people in power with a bunch of egos running it in the beginning and towards the end of WCW in 2001.
I can only imagine what was going on in there. Hogan had a contract that he made so much stinking money for every appearance that it was ridiculous. ridiculous. Not to mention he couldn't lose unless he signed off on it.
Robbie says WWE is just entertainment now, not wrestling like WWF was.
Right. It's
Because
just different.
hence that why we, as older marks, love Edge's comeback, Christian's comeback, and Hardy Boys still relevant today.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit better to see some of those older guys come back.
Alita says, Rise Up Falcon. Sophie says, how long will until TNT decide to make Rampage 2 hours like most AEW fans see it happening?
It's gotta be when their ratings go up.
Robbie says, jocks are what they call people in Scotland. Nice. Robbie says, D, just reading the comments but not commenting on the comments.
Not answering them, just reading them. I'm like,
I had to get caught up fucking somehow. Travis is over here like, let me tell you a story during the commercial break that takes 5 minutes. And I'm like, okay.
You have to talk to the people. That's what they're here for.
I get it. That's why I didn't say anything.
The elbow
but
drop.
I gotta get caught up on the comments somehow. If you guys don't want me to read your comments, I just won't read them anymore. I'll sit here and stare at the TV.
Oh, Jeff with the spinning kick.
So it was like there was a time Vince liked tag wrestling. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he just destroyed them all. He just literally went through and dismantled all of them.
Maybe he felt that it was too old school and he didn't like it anymore.
Even the Iconics. He likes to put together two singles wrestlers that they're not pushing at the time or to push through a storyline, which we're seeing right now with Randy Orton, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just what he does. Like, so it's so rare to actually see a tag team. But at the same time, like, the Viking Raiders aren't going to make it as singles wrestlers. So it makes sense to keep them together. But knowing him, he'll break them up and then release them, like, months later.
Right.
And so they can't get a job anywhere else as a tag team or something. Like, he's tarnishing them. Well, at least that's what he did with the Iconics. The Iconics breakup made 0 sense to me.
It didn't make any sense.
Break them up, try to put them in other tag teams, and then release them. And just keep them together.
Ooh, nose to nose. David says, right to censor AK cancel culture will never let the sex era come back.
I figured if the women came up with the idea, it could work. Like, you know, if it was up to the women to push it, it could work. But you can't have men tell the women what they have to do. But I think if the women were like, you know what, let's turn the heat on.
Right.
Let's be sexy about this.
Pool on Gaming is cutting some flags in there. It says love from Nepal. Thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it. If you're new, please subscribe. Hang out in the chat. James Sotelo says Los Angeles Rams. This is our year. People's message retracted.
Wow.
Vindicator says, truth is, I don't like wrestling enough to visit a museum. I'm fine with just seeing old school A&E documentaries.
Yeah.
Walter's like, Jeff Hardy will win. Sophie's like, there was talks of the WWE having their own physical Hall of Fame a couple years ago.
I would love to see it.
I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger on it. And Walter's in the chat. Hey, Walter, good to see ya. Says, good Raw tonight. Robbie says, Sheamus needs to win his title back.
You think?
You ain't a kidding. B. Cole's like, OMG, hire me. I would be the best tour guide as a wrestling historian. That's a dream.
There you go.
Robbie's like, Walter, it's watchable. Walter says, I'm staying for 25 minutes, 9:30 p.m. my time on Wednesday. I'll be here for AEW at 8. Robbie says, D, you would and all. Oh, would you? Alita's like, okay, meds time. Sweet. Alita's taking drugs.
Ooh.
Robbie's like, Walter knows better to watch a full episode of WWE. Right? He's like, fuck this shit. He's like, oh, it's so good. I came in at the right time.
I like the mid-card guys. Like, I'm sure we're going to see Karrion Kross here in a few minutes, so it'll be perfect timing.
James says, I like your backyard. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Then Kidder says, I'm still upset Vince broke up Heavy Machinery and now has completely ruined Otis.
Right? I don't even know if the other guy's in the company still. I think they dropped him, right?
Tucker, he's gone.
He's in those drops.
Go. Yeah, he was in that one, like...
The bigger one?
He was in that one, he was at a WrestleMania or something, remember? As a Royal Rumble or a Rumble intro or
okay.
Something like that. Anyways, and then like not 2 or 3 weeks later, he was let go.
That's pretty funny shit.
JVTS is warning, never trust a girl from South Africa who says she loves you and wants to live with you after speaking only a few days of knowing her after she adds you off of TikTok. Really, JVD? We kind of told you that.
What?
We all do. So weird.
But I love you.
I'm sure you do, ma'am.
Be like, you're not in love with me. You're in love with the idea of me.
Sophie says, I wonder how Shane would run the WWE once eventually Vince leaves power to him. He might not. Maybe Vince will sell the whole thing and not one McMahon will be involved in it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just got rid of the whole thing.
Vicky Joseph's in the chat saying, hello. Hello, Vicky.
Hey,
And
Vic.
Robbie says, Vince ain't got a clue. Pico says, well, they had stables. Attitude Era brought DX, Nation of Domination, Heart Foundation.
Are they
and
really
the
calling it
Disciples of
the 2.0? NXT 2.0. New stadium.
Apocalypse.
Look. Yeah. NXT 2.0, guys.
Oh my God,
So
how-
basically they're saying that they upgraded it.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. That's seriously like kicking Triple H in the balls. To me, that's pretty disrespectful. It's
No wonder I had a
2.0.
heart problem.
It's 2.0. Because what you did was shit.
You did such a shit job that we decided to call it something else.
Oh,
Revamp
damn, right onto
everything.
Damien's head.
Take the championship off the
2.
douchebag you had it on. Not sure why you put it on somebody I fired.
Yeah, Vince couldn't be too happy about Joe coming back and then winning the title.
I'd be so
Look at
fucking
that.
pissed. Ouch.
Oh, shit.
That was his throat, I'm pretty sure. That's amazing. Be
That's
careful,
a
don't
200
break his
pounds.
neck. Then Sophie says Vince broke up Heavy Machinery for no reason at all last year.
Oh, I mean, it's endless.
People
What he's
also
done.
said, I don't know if Vince or Bruce Pritchard pushed them back in the day. Vicky Joseph says, say sorry to me. Say sorry to yourself. Because, like, how are you,
Oh.
Vicky Joseph? You new here? No, I think we've had Vicky in here before for the sorry stuff. Alita's
1,
like, DVD should have
2.
did more checking.
He didn't kick out.
How did that not work? Oh,
He
did he
didn't
count to
even-
the rope?
Well, it wouldn't matter. Damien was the one getting pinned.
Oh. Maybe he was supposed to
So
kick out?
he was trying to, but he didn't. He was still on his shoulders. That's hilarious.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Is this your 4th day on the job?
Lilia's like, JVD should have did more checking. JVD says, Vicky, sorry for what? Robbie's like, NXT is done out here. So it was like Tucker got released in one of the mini roster cuts this year. JVD's like, Alita, you live and you learn. It's like, yes. And JVD's laughing. So it was like, NXT fans are saying NXT is dead because Vince and Bruce are the new producers of NXT. Alita's like, I was on my way to being a third wife.
I think I just think that Vince wants to change it up a little bit and actually have guys featured that are going to make it on the main roster. And he's looking at it and say, "Hey, look, we need talent up on the main roster, and there's none."
Like, it's fine you have all these guys down here that want to, be in here, but we also need a
Talent.
good portion of those guys to be talent that can come up to the main roster.
It can eventually be on the main roster,
and hang out with these big guys that we have up
and
there.
Johnny Wrestling's not going to cut it. Tommaso Ciampa's not going to cut it. I don't even think LA Knight could cut it other than he can talk on the mic. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know how many guys down there that can cut it on the main roster.
Vicky Joseph.
I don't know who that is. Is that one of the girls?
We've had one of those people, that person in our chat before, the whole, say sorry to me, say sorry to me, say sorry, say you're sorry.
Right.
Say, maybe you should apologize to us. I'm pretty sure that's how that should be working. James says Harlem Heat was the best tag team.
Harlem Heat was so good. It was ridiculous how good they were. But guess what? Split up.
Picola says, JVD, bro, there's fine Southern females down here, and they are great Christians. LOL. Sophie's like, NXT has been a big thing in 7 or 8 years now. They want to rebrand it.
Oh, it's 2.0 now, guys. Starting tomorrow. So it's already happened. It's already rebranded. It's done. It starts tomorrow. They're not going to change it all and scrap it tomorrow.
Ryan says, God knows how NXT UK is still going. Pickle says, or as the Bucks would say, Christian AF.
I bet you anything Vince doesn't know it exists. He's like, wait a second. There's an
Oh,
NXT
that's right.
UK.
We have an NXT UK. I forgot all about that.
What's
Well,
that look like? He'd turn on that train wreck and be like, what the fuck?
What are you doing with my namesake?
No, it's not that bad. I think he'd like Walter.
Well, he brings them into the NXT part, so yeah. Except for they made Walter lose to some tiny little nitwit.
Dragnov or whatever his name
That
is.
fucking piece of garbage.
They can't have it on Walter forever. He's already been champion for like 600 days.
I get that. That's not the point. The point is he's
the British
a 12-year-old.
The British are a little bit different than the English or I guess they're English too. Than the Americans when it comes to wrestlers. They don't care about size as much.
Yeah, well, Rafi
look at that, the twist of fate.
Even watch NXT UK, so you can't even go by what they like.
And done. Damien with the dub.
Oh, good.
Oh shit, Sheamus attacked him.
Good job, Sheamus. JVD's like, Pico, are they piff Christians though? JVD, the Christian ones are always piff. So if it's like NXT UK wasn't around for most of last year because of Unicorn Springfield.
Right.
Alita says NXT was a wrestling school at first.
Yes, it was. I think it had a different name, didn't it? Like Nexus?
Alita says NXT was a wrestling school at first. I read that. Ravi says they get called up just to end up in Titus Catering. Vindicator's like, Samoa Joe may be on the main roster soon after recovering from injuries. I hope he gets a serious title run. Didn't have one since his feud with Brock 3 years ago. Vindicator, your sarcasm astounds me.
Come on,
seriously.
dude. That shit ain't happening.
You're like, I'm going to throw a wrench in the party.
He's going to be in an unemployment office when he gets better.
I don't think he's going to get better and then get fired. I think he's just going to be like, oh, you're injured? Get the fuck out. Like, get out. I fired your ass once before. I'm sick and tired of seeing you. Get out.
Yeah, Vince isn't going to put up with the same stuff Triple H does. And it's Triple H that signed him because he's like, oh, look, I'm going to re-sign this guy. And obviously it went through Vince to do that, and his contract's probably a lot less money than it was on the main roster. And
right.
Joe wanted to work there, and he could probably wrestle, and he got to, and then he's injured again. So he's got to be at the point where maybe he will go to be an announcer. And if that's the case, he can be on the main roster again. I don't care if he's an announcer on the main roster.
Right, except for he's too vanilla. He needs somebody who's like Corey Graves, who's kind of a snarky little bitch.
Okay, I love that. And McAfee does a really good job at it. And Byron Saxton's horrible at it, so he could take over Byron Saxton's job any day of the week.
Yeah, they could totally get rid of Byron Saxton. They could take him and put him in the dumpster out back and nobody would care. I mean, his mama might care, but I don't think so. She'd be like, yeah, you sucked. You shouldn't even be there.
Like a high five. Are they super brutality? Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah. Sophie says the WWE said it was no big deal that they let both Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson walk into AEW. And do you think Vince watched NXT every week for years?
No. I bet you Vince didn't watch it at all. And then every once in a while, somebody would bring it to his attention like, hey, watch this guy. And then he'd watch him and be like, hey, we should bring him up.
And then he was probably like, why aren't we seeing more of these guys? And was like, what the fuck are you doing and ruining my brand? Vince
really liked Finn Balor. He called him up and he let him win the Universal Championship. That's huge, guys. And then he got hurt. And Vince is like, see? That's exactly why we don't do little guys. Because they get injured too much.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that, Reginald?
No.
Oh, no. It's Sonya. I thought it was Reginald. It's a suit that Reginald would wear. Or was wearing. There you go. So they're going to have Tamina versus the superhero.
AHS. AHS. She didn't even say it right. She said it wrong. AHS instead of ASH.
That's right. Corey just did it. Corey just fixed it for her. He goes,
it's
ASH dot ash. Or
not
hash.
AHS. Oz.
Oz.
Oh, Oz. Almost hero super. All right.
Oh.
Pico says it's a bummer when you have an amazing faction for years, they explode Undisputed, and then everyone else is on eggshells. Vindicator says LA Knight can cut it. He's an athletic and physical specimen, and he
Absolutely.
can talk.
Absolutely. One of the best guys in the whole sport on the microphone. He's there with MJF. He's there with The Miz. He's there with John Cena, The Rock. Sitting right on their level.
So he says, imagine if Harlem Heat was in the WWE when the WWE brought WCW.
Right. Yeah, I think they were already dismantled. I think Booker T had already been pushed as a singles wrestler at that point. But yeah, Vince would have broke him up.
Robbie says, D, I tried watching NXT UK once 2 years ago. I lasted 5 minutes and thought, F this BS. Well, at least you didn't want to kill yourself after.
You know, I've watched it once, and it was that Dragunov against Walter. And it was fantastic, that match. There were some guys over there that were actually pretty fun to watch. Some other tag teams. I don't even remember their names or anything, but it was an okay show. I'm pretty sure I saw Dewdrop on there, too.
She was from NXT UK. That's where she came from.
Right. But I'm just saying, they don't show every one of their wrestlers in 1 hour.
No.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure.
But she was actually, I guess, one of the top ones.
Right.
That's why we're seeing her.
I think it was like her and Tony Storm or something, that same card. It wouldn't be hard to find out who wrestled on that one. You just have to go to the card when Dragunov wrestled Walter.
Sophie says, with the rebranding of NXT, what does that mean for Triple H?
Hello. Hey. Okay. Okay. Yes, I think so. Awesome. It does, absolutely. Okay, well, I appreciate that. All right, bye-bye. He's doing about the same as he was yesterday.
But that's positive, so.
Yeah, that's what she said.
He's not going backwards, so that's good.
A little bit stronger, she said, bearing weight.
That's good. That's good to hear. That means what she's doing is doing a good job and working. I appreciate her.
That was our vet. Our dog's been in the vet for a week today.
Yeah. Sophie says, with the rebranding of NXT, what does that mean for Triple H and his team that has been there ever since the beginning? Well, with Triple H having his heart issue, I'm pretty sure he's going to be taking a break for a while. But his team, on the other hand, who knows? You know, Vince can cut a lot of people. Could revamp some of that, too.
That's wishful thinking. That's not happening. It'll be exactly the same. All Vince is going to be doing with Brian Pritchett is running the main events.
Right. But with Triple H having the problem that he has right now, I'm saying Vince is going to be more hands-on than what he thought he was going to be.
Right.
And then once Triple H probably gets better, because he's going to probably have to take a break for a while. Whatever happened was probably stress-induced, among other things.
It says it's genetic, but yeah.
But I'm pretty sure stress exasperated whatever the genetic issue is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I mean, that kind of stuff. So, you know, he's going to be involved for a little while, but he'll probably kind of just step back in the background for just the main stuff at that point. Piccolo says, JVD, it's a variety pack, my guy. Life is too boring if you eat Rice Krispies every day. Maybe you want some Cocoa Puffs or Frosted Flakes. James Sotelo says, did they split up the Powers of Pain?
The Authors of Pain? I don't remember the Powers of Pain. The Authors of Pain, one of them got like a serious injury.
Yeah.
And then they just cut them both.
And they kind of came back from that as like being like security guys. And then after that, you just didn't see them. Because like Pips can be all sorts of sugary treats. Alita's like Frosted Flakes. Rob is like, it was some goon called Pete Dunne I saw and had to end the stream. It was that bad. Old Pete Dunne. He has a very feminine physique. Sophie's like, Vince probably didn't know that Samoa Joe is still in the WWE.
Right? He's like,
yeah, he's just
what?
completely oblivious. Robbie's like, Nikki ASH getting giddy. JVD says, Piccolo, I'm a Lucky Charms kind of guy and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Because, like, how many months have they been tag champs now? Natalia and Tamina?
At least 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably longer. Did they win it at Mania?
maybe.
I can't remember when they won it.
I'm trying to remember when they did win the tag titles. Maybe it wasn't Mania. Anyways, Ravi says Natty is becoming lazy. Pico says a little American Horror Story. JVD says, so when the hell is Shotzi and Nox getting their title shot after defeating Natalya and Tamina like 3 times in a row?
Yeah, I think they forgot about those girls. They did show them a little bit this Friday.
Alita's like, no hand touching. Why? Why can't we touch hands?
You touched my hand.
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with the hand touching. Pico's like, me too. JVD Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like horchata, right? Pretty tasty. JVD's like, Pico, hell yeah. Alita says Connor didn't make it. Oh no. Are you talking about Connor and the Connor's Corner thing?
Connor's Cure? Yeah, Connor passed away years ago.
Oh. Walter's like, Nikki will win.
Look at this! They said he's going to be in multiple segments.
Right. I'm not here for a beef with you. I just want to give you lots of luck. Then here's like, AHS sounds like a company that would be similar to AARP or American Horror Story. Pico's like, Rebel is definitely CTC. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Sophie's like, it must be weird family dinners at the McMahon house with Vince in charge of everything, and Triple H has nothing to do with NXT anymore. Alita says that ringtone scared me. Oh, did it? The ringtone scared Alita.
It's terrifying.
I don't even know what it was.
It's my generic, so it's the Creedence Clearwater Revival one.
Oh. Walter says Joe got injured. Yes. Sophie says, I watched NXT UK once. I got bored after 10 minutes. Wow, you lasted 5 more minutes than Ravi. Alita says, yes, Walter. Ravi says, Alita, haha, good one. Alita's like, how is the pup doing?
Getting a little stronger.
JVD says, I feel bad for Triple H because he's so passionate about NXT and Vince just took all that away from him. Alita says heart valve. Sophie says you should have a rule, no phone calls during this stream.
Yeah, probably. This one I had to do, though, because I had the vet calling.
I'm sorry that our life is important to us, Sophie.
Normally, I agree with you.
Most of the time we do ignore phone calls, but sometimes they're emergencies. Like, very rarely do I get phone calls from a family member of mine. I definitely would be answering the phone. Alita says Razor and Akeem.
Yes.
Walter says Miro is live on Twitch. JVD says I hope your dog gets better.
Thank you.
Thank you. Walter says RK Bro. Piccolo says I think although Samoa Joe relinquished the belt, he will stay in the title scene. And Piccolo says I'm hoping Ciampa wins tomorrow night.
You're a Ciampa fan, huh? Ciampa.
The crowd Delta 19. No. Oh, you're talking about Rhea touching the hands of the crowd people. Gotcha. So if it's like everybody on Triple H creative team and Vince creative team don't like each other. Robbie says, do you ever read Forbes magazine? I haven't. No. I probably have read it, like articles and stuff like that on the internet
over the
before. Top. But I've never grabbed a Forbes magazine and just read it.
Shit, Tamina just got drop kicked right in the upper quad.
Is it interesting? Do you write articles for them? Should I read them?
Big Axe Handles by Nikki.
Alita says, I never
Nikki's
knew.
head just got taken off.
Sophie says 5 months. They won it at Mania Night 2. They won it at Mania. Okay, that's what we thought. I thought they won it at Mania. Jamel says, I asked myself, why would you want to be almost something?
So 5 minutes or 5 months?
Yeah, but then I remember in school I got by on a C grade average. I got lucky. Then it cares like the offspring of Nature Boy is an American and Universal Horror Story. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Walter's like, Nikki, good luck in this match. And James Howells in the chat says, no telephono. Just kidding. Emergencies, people. We have lives too, you know. JVD says, I hope Ciampa wins too, but I think they will have O'Reilly or Dunn win.
Oh
God, please no with the Pete Dunne.
Or O'Reilly. I don't want to see either of those two win.
I don't want to see any of them win. Like all 4 of them are tiny men.
It's like they find the smallest guys they possibly could. And
so like, can we find people the size of Alexa Bliss as males and then put them in a championship? I think that's a great idea. I think so too.
All right, Nikki Ash, working her way up.
Get her.
Stomping right on her instep.
Get her.
What was that show where she's beauty queen?
Who's a beauty queen?
The Sandra Bullock.
Oh, Miss Congeniality?
Yeah. The instep. That's what she
Oh,
just did.
yeah. Step on the instep so you can do a whole bunch of things.
It was an acronym, but I can't remember what it was. Like heel or something.
Alita's like, I can't get mine to stop biting, and she snores like a truck.
Nice.
Okay, so we can teach you a trick. Do you know how mama dogs make sure and train their puppies not to bite them? Just grab her by the scruff of the neck.
And just hold her on the
just
ground.
Just hold her. Kind of give her a good one shake, not hard, just a good shake, and tell her no. And do it every time she bites.
Because that's what mama does.
Because that's what the mom dog does, and it doesn't hurt them.
And then
they
give them love.
Cry,
and make sure you give them love afterwards. Don't be angry at them.
Good.
Because mom doesn't have any ill will towards the puppy. It tells her no, and then it'll start licking it.
Yeah, like you want to just give her a good scruff of the neck, grab and shake. Not hard, not like you're shaking up your milkshake or anything.
That brings all the boys to the yard.
Exactly. But just so the puppy knows that they did something wrong. And then you, just for a count of 10 maybe, and then let them go. Tell them what good puppy they are. And then give them a toy to play with.
Yeah, give them something to bite.
Give them something they can bite. A toy, or something. And that usually helps because we went through, 3 puppies. 3 of them. So we've kind of gotten better as time went on with each one of them. But like our last one, he doesn't really bite. So only when they play. And then usually if they played and bit me too hard, I just ow. And they'd be like, what? Like it's a really high pitched ow.
Big right hand from Tamina. Nobody's meaner than Tamina.
Nikki's gonna have to get meaner because if not, she's not gonna win.
Nikki's the opposite of the meaner of the Tamina.
Pretty much. The Piccolo says seriously, Rhea and Nikki as such are about as weird as putting Omos and AJ together, or Randy and Riddle.
Yeah, it's the Randy Riddle story.
On the women's side, Sophie says the NXT title is cursed. It seems like every other person who wins it gets injured. And Robbie says, ain't Forbes magazine all about who's in the rich list?
Oh, shit. She got her. She did get her. Tamina kicked out.
Did she?
But she didn't get it up in time.
Not in time, so she got a fluke. A fluke pin for Nikki ASH. Wow. Piccolo says, if that were the case, Kushida would be champ. Haha, right? Walter's like, okay, bye guys. See you Wednesday for AEW 8 p.m. All right, Walter. Have a great night. We'll see you Wednesday. Piccolo says, what's everybody snacking on in the chat? I was eating an apple.
Oh, look behind Rhea. The match hasn't started yet.
Good point, Sophie. Yeah. It is cursed. Vindicator's like, how is LA Knight tiny? He's just not
I don't think he's over 6 feet tall.
I mean, he might be if he's lucky 6 foot.
We'd
but
have to
he's kind of like a Miz size, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he's much bigger than the Miz. I don't think he's taller than the Miz.
Right? And Picole's like, take care, Walter. JVD says, I had pulled barbecue pork sandwich. Robbie says, why is Nikki and Rhea a tag team? Why? And Sophie says, remember when they introduced the WWE Women's Tag Team titles where they say it could go across all 3 brands? They stopped that as quickly as they could.
Yeah, they cut NXT off of everything, guys. It's a completely different thing.
Yep.
They had it all together, and then they took Charlotte's titles away. They stopped doing anything with NXT in the main roster. I think that experiment failed.
Mm-hmm. Majorly. Sophie says, remember when they introduced the WWE... Oh, I already read that one. Pico says, I had leftover Meat Lovers pizza. JVD's laughing. Jamal says, WWE shops sell thousands of RK Bro t-shirts. There are no Nikki ASH masks for little girls. Well, that's stupid. So
Yeah,
it's like Nikki
silly.
and Rhea are the female version of RK Bro. Yes. And JVD says, Piccolo sounds good. I love jalapenos on my pizza with everything else.
Yummy.
Alita
Yeah,
says,
the yellow peppers.
The yellow peppers? The banana peppers?
Sure.
They look like jalapenos, but they're yellow?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, those are banana peppers.
They're
JVD says,
good.
Piccolo sounds good. I love jalapenos on my pizza with everything else. Alita says, nice. Piccolo, always good the next day. Sophie says, I have barbecue wings for dinner tonight. And Ravi says, Tamina is so botchy. And Sophie says, this show is going by fast.
Is it?
Is it?
I looked at my watch and we're halfway there.
I know. I'm like, can it be almost over? Everybody's just like 10 minutes away. And I look at the sky and I'm like, no. Nope. It's still early.
It's got to get dark. I forgot to plug in the OVs.
Guess I can go do it. Have you checked on your chickens?
Have you checked on the chickens? There was a scary movie in the 80s, and the girl gets a phone call. It says, have you checked on the children? And she's like, ah. So she calls 911. And then 911's like, it's probably just a prank or whatever.
Right.
And then she gets another, have you checked on the children? And she calls police. This keeps happening. And they're like,
well, did you check on the children?
you need to get out of the house. The phone call's coming from inside the house.
Ah!
Yeah. It's a creepy.
You wouldn't even know that anymore because everybody has cell phones. And how on earth could they have a call come from inside the house?
Just another line.
So they had 2 lines, rich bastards.
They deserve to have their kids killed.
That's right.
Greedy.
Alita says banana peppers. Yes. Ravi says, has Keith Lee left WWE?
No.
That we know of.
I think they're probably getting ready for another big push. Hopefully his heart's okay. He came back. He did pretty good. And it's like they just don't have any room for him or something. And you feel like they could do a lot of storylines. Why do they only have to have 3 wrestlers on their whole freaking show? It's so irritating.
Yeah, I get tired of seeing Drew McIntyre all the time.
Oh, that's cool. I like movies like that. Is that new?
It's a show.
La Brable.
La Brea.
Huh, the tar pits.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. I want to watch that.
Nicola says, yeah, I could eat banana peppers just on its own. And Sophie says, I can see whoever gets the pin in the match tomorrow gets called up to the main roster at some point.
Yeah. Will Finn Balor win the title? Because I know Vince only wanted Finn to do that when he was going to win. Mm-hmm. Unless it was just like, hey, let's do that. And he's like, okay, whatever. You don't matter anymore. You're 40.
You're a small little man. Vindicator says, Travis, what's that in the background that sort of looks like a tall satellite dish?
It is a tall satellite dish.
This is a short satellite dish.
There's a satellite dish straight back there, so.
Beagle says, so the draft will be next month, right? Yes, correct.
It looks like it. Like the 4th.
Sophie says it is 9:40 p.m. here. Yes, it's late for you. JVT says Picola, yes, the 4th of October. The 4th of October!
No, it's the 4th, a Friday or a Monday.
Good question. Sophie says dogs are important. I don't like people. I love my dog.
I like everybody.
My hate is divided equally amongst all of you.
October 4th is a Monday. So are they doing it the 1st and the 4th, or the 4th and the 9th?
Yeah. What's the deal there? Does anybody know? You guys should know stuff.
They doing Raw first?
Bastards.
Or are they going to do SmackDown first?
So it's like, we are almost in the last hour of Raw.
Almost.
Why don't we count down the seconds?
We could.
How many
don't have
more
my stopwatch
seconds are there?
Alexa, how many seconds till 9 p.m.?
9 p.m. starts in 4,842 seconds.
That's a lot of fucking seconds.
It's only 4,000.
fucking seconds.
Start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not cooking it up. I got to 8,000. All right. Anyways, we do have another match. We got Rhea Ripley in there against the old
Natalia.
the Heart Train Dungeon.
So this was the match that was gonna happen anyways.
Right.
So no matter what, this
Natalia's
match was going to happen.
physical. This will be an interesting one.
Sophie's like, Keith Lee also had unicorn sprinkles. Yes, that's what caused his heart issue. Yep, did.
Look at that. She said, kiss
Jimmy
my
says,
tushy.
be right back. And Piccola says, oh, that reminds me. I had a quick reunion at the Chinese buffet on Panama City Beach.
Yeah.
It was a group of veterans for a 9/11 luncheon. Oh, that's way
wow.
awesome, Piccola. That's cool.
Look at that.
Awesome that you had a
Natalia.
quick reunion with some peeps.
I don't know what she's doing here.
Are they all doing okay?
Oh, gosh. Hit her right in the neck.
Yeah, right
Big
in the
boot.
neck.
Kicked her right in the titty. Or in the chest, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know, but she keeps falling to the background. She's like, oh my god, I have to go clear over here.
I think they should just
like,
take her
"Are
out of
you
here.
Okay.
Oh, drop kicks to Mina. So Rhea did that move and then landed on the steps.
Rhea did?
Yeah, on the corner of the steps.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt her inner thigh.
Yeah,
right
well,
here.
she did get up, and then she got...
She's holding it still.
And she did get...
See here? She's still holding that leg.
Yeah. I'll tell you this much. That shit hurts.
Oh, boy.
You don't
That's like
think
stubbing
about
your
that,
toe.
But that fucking crap hurts. And no matter what, it'll still hurt. You'll be like, hurt something else, you'll be like, that goddamn still hurts. JVD's back. Sweet. You weren't gone for very long. Did you go for a run?
Uh-oh. Sharpshooter.
Did your internet go out? Just kidding.
Oh, shit. Right across
Rob
the
was like,
puss.
Natty is a one-trick pony these days. Just like you, Robbie.
The old
like you.
sharpshooter and physicalness.
Billy Cole's like, yeah, we had some great catching up, and my one buddy is about to buy a home soon. Oh,
Heck yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm glad that your buddies and people, your veterans, are doing well. And it was
Snap
a
suplex.
positive experience for everybody. It's always hard. Sophie's like, I thought SmackDown usually go first in the draft.
That's what I thought, too, so they could get it all together quicker. But maybe they're going to do it over the week. So Monday, the start of the week, Friday, the end of the week. I'm looking forward to the draft. I like that. We did the full out thing last year, remember? With the draft. We had to write them all down and who went where and what.
So you know
is
how
it
I
on
like
again?
that Venom? Yeah, that's another one. But guess who else is in it? It's, what's his face?
Nice.
Woody Harrelson. He's like, we're all like you and I. He's like, I'm nothing like you. He has a demon inside him, too.
Mm-hmm.
You have semen
It's right,
in
he
you?
has semen in him.
No, I meant a demon. Sorry. Side
You're right, he does have semen in him.
He does have semen in him.
The Hangover, too.
Gross.
It's like a demon in him. He's right, there's semen in him.
I thought that was the third one, but I guess
No,
that's
it's
good,
a
the second one.
when they're in Bangkok
Yeah.
or Bangkok.
Why do you think they call it Bangkok?
They don't call it
even the
Bang.
cunts have
Cunt.
cocks.
Yeah, they don't call it Bangkok.
Pickles, like, and another friend is about to have twins. Aw, well, congratulations to
Twins,
them.
Basil,
That's awesome.
twins.
I was like, D, I can do more. Sure you can. Yeah, sure you can. Rob was like, is Mia Yim ever coming back? Who the hell fucking knows? JVD changed his name to just JVD instead of being it's me, JVD. Pickle's like, that sounds cool. Where are you looking to move to? Pickle's like, definitely a reset for the brands is necessary to stay fresh. And Sophie says both the King and Queen of the Rings tournament are supposed to start on the same day as the draft or the week after it.
Good. I'm okay with it. Should be a pretty fun little tournament. I like tournaments. Are my favorite thing about wrestling. Anytime I can get a tournament in, I'm excited.
Right. Robbie says D with the cheap jokes. Well, you know, I learned
I think
them
it's
from
brackets.
you.
I think it's brackets. I love brackets. If there's any sort of bracket. That's why I like the playoffs, because there's brackets. That's why I like March Madness, because there's brackets. It's like, oh, there's brackets.
Brackets? JBD says, I say just in the brand split, but that's just my opinion. Because says, oh, my one friend is getting a bigger house in South Atlanta. And Sophie says, Mick Foley said, if there are any free agents out there, you don't have to go to the WWE. That's just a true statement. There's nothing wrong with that statement. Did you want me to go turn the overhead lights on?
Sure. Get them plugged in. Ditch vape. You need to quit vaping.
I don't vape.
Why are you telling people lies?
Why are you telling
I don't even know what a vape looks like, and I swear to everything holy. I've never seen one.
They look like a cigarette, some of them. Some of them look like... Your friend Jeremy vapes? That thing that he sucks on all the
Yeah,
time?
but I've never seen it.
That's because he holds it in his hand.
Yeah, they hold it like tight.
Yeah, like it's a goddamn pacifier.
Yeah, they're...
They're like, I need my pacifier.
My sister's friend came over and asked me if she could do it. In the house. And I'm like, no, I don't even know what that is.
Like, don't vape in my house. Disgusting. No, it's just like...
Like, who asked somebody if they can smoke in their house? Do you see ashtrays?
It's the same thing. It's no different.
Rhea Ripley is jacked up. She's slapping herself in the face. Don't push on that. It will tip over. It's like
I'm not
top
pushing on
heavy.
it.
Oh, I'm just letting you know. It's like weird. Like they needed to extend that top part.
You mean this far?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't doing anything to it. I was
Right down on her
like-
tailbone. That ass.
It's a good thing she's got a little bit of an ass back there. else
She's got a
she's in
big old
trouble.
caboose.
As big as my
Two.
butt.
They both have big cabooses. Nothing wrong with these women. They're very curvy. Curvaceous. Voluptuous. What is another word? BBW.
Sure. All right.
What's going on? We're watching a wrestling match. That's what's going on.
As Piccolo says, we literally call vapes douche flutes. So it's the silliest winner for the Royal Rumble takes place. They are back with live fans since the 2020 Rumble.
Yeah.
Lolita says, I ask. And JVD says, Piccolo LMAO. Piccolo's like, JVD, would you want to keep Universal and WWE titles or combine them as a undisputed champion only?
Well,
Lolita asks
I
if she
think
can vape in people's
I
houses.
think that would be a better way to tell the best from the best is if they had one title.
Right?
I don't like the idea of having two champions and then you count the championships. Like Charlotte's counting her championships. But if there was only one champion, would she have had 13 titles?
Mm-hmm.
Or would Becky be the champion right now? Who would be the champion if there was one? Be Becky. Right? Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
No.
It'd be Becky.
It would. It'd be weird.
You know, there was a time period where there was just one champion. They didn't have two.
That's just ridiculous.
And then they count them as champions. It's like, you can't count that as championship.
So he says it depends on how many people are in both the King and Queen of the Ring tournament since the finals of both take place in Saudi Arabia. And JVD says, yeah, I would have a new undisputed title. Sophie says, what were you guys doing when 9/11 happened 20 years ago?
I just had woke up. And I was just... My mom came in and said something to me. And so I went and checked it out. I just broke up with a girlfriend, so I was staying at my mom's house.
Ew. Well, it's like most vapes are nicotine-based, more weed. Or weed.
Two and... Oh, Nikki Cross.
Well, Natalia was cheating.
Was she cheating? Or she just
She
getting...
was using the ropes to help her get a leverage.
just a-
That's still
She
cheating.
was helping herself.
Meg, you can't have this as chocolate, sweetie.
All right, she's got her in some sort of Texas cloverleaf.
Oh, they're nicotine based more than weed. Yeah.
Natalia tapped. So both members of the tag team champions lost. You never see this, ever. Rhea's like, my right leg doesn't work. I have a bruise on it. I think Randy and Riddle should do this. She must have bit her lip. See how she pulled that open?
Mm-hmm. Sophie says both Fox and USA Networks want the brand split since they want their own rosters and storylines.
Well, I like both rosters, so I don't mind the split. Both champions are fantastic. And if Brock wins the title, I'm 100% okay with that, so. They're sure going all out with this Big E thing. I feel like it's going to be a swerve. Like, we're not going to see that happen.
Well, since they're throwing it in our face so much.
They did it with The Miz and Bobby Lashley that night. Mm-hmm. Not with the cash-in, but the one on Raw where he was going to lose his title. Mm-hmm. They just kept shoving it down our throat. I was like, is The Miz going to win this somehow? And then it was a squash match.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be tasting that fine print. I was trying to figure out how that even works. Like, why would there be fine print? But I guess it's a contract.
Vindicator, you're hilarious. So it was like there was a time that the champion held both championships. And Vindicator says, I bet Travis conveniently forgot the name of all his exes out of respect for his current main squeeze.
All my exes
remembers
live in
all of
Texas.
his exes'
That's
names.
why I hang my hat in Tennessee. I've only had like 3. Satellite going out, maybe?
He talks about them too.
Oh, this is that big 8-man tag team match.
Is it?
Yes. This is the one I showed you earlier.
Yes.
And I was pointing them out. Mansoor and Mustafa.
Like, you guys look the same. We should put you together.
Of course. Hey, there's a couple guys.
People's like, that looked like a good start to Raw. It was okay. So it was like Tamina won her match.
No, Tamina lost.
She did not.
She got pinned
She
by
got
NSH.
pinned by Nikki. Alita says that almost made him break.
See, he's dressed as Diesel, and then he's Razor Ramon.
Right. But they're the NDR. The New Day Rocks. That's what it says on their stuff.
Right.
NDR.
New Day Rocks.
Oh, he's like, dude, you can't be friends with them. Mansoor's like,
Yeah,
"Dude,
Ollie's
I'm
still a
having good
heel.
time."
Ollie's still a
He's
heel.
like, dude, you can't be fucking friends with him. Lita's like, the hair club. And Piccolo's like, is Ali going to turn or has he been behaving? Ali's been behaving, but I think he's like tired of Mansoor and his antics.
Will he lose to Mansoor at the Saudi Arabia show?
Okay. He'd have to, right? Isn't that where Mansoor's
Right,
supposed
that's
to
what
be?
I'm
or
saying.
will Ali not even go and Mansoor will get some
Right.
match with some other person and win it? Because he wins all the time in Saudi Arabia.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So he would win. But can you imagine if Ali beat him in Saudi Arabia?
Oh my God, they might have
They
a
might
meltdown.
arrest him.
I don't know.
That scares me. I don't trust that.
I don't even know if they'll go. With everything that's happening over in the Middle East right now, I just don't know if they'd even let people go over there.
It's fine. It's very protected where they're at.
Oh, Lita's like, he got moves. Yeah, that Mansoor, he's got some moves.
There's been trouble in the Middle East for over 2,000 years.
Right.
Well over 2,000 years. Even in the Bible, which was 1,000 years before, there was trouble. During Ramses' days. What, Ramses the second? Is that who's in the Bible?
Who?
Ramses.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I haven't read the Bible. What are you doing?
What I want?
Why are you fidgeting?
Oh, I'm loosening my shoe up.
Moving see a lot. Sophia's like, they should get rid of both the 24/7 championship and the women's tag team championship at some point.
Why would we get rid of the women's tag team? Wouldn't you want just to add women tag teams and then add a mid-card women's title?
Yeah,
That's what
just let
I
the
would
women
like
do
to
their
see.
thing. Have one women's championship,
One mid-card title, tag team titles,
and that's it.
and that's it.
And then add more women to the roster and have actual tag teams instead of taking singles wrestlers, putting them in tag teams for the tag titles.
Give the women their own show, like a 205. What sets up the feuds for everything. That has storylines, the whole bit. You could even make it a 2-hour show. They own the network.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just do it.
Just fucking do it.
Even if you have to do it in high school gyms because you can't sell out, you know, that's fine. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is sell out one side. I guarantee 150 people will show up to watch the women wrestle, right?
Yeah. I would think so.
You don't have to have 20,000 people.
No, you do not.
And then you still have your main stuff happen on the main rosters and at pay-per-views. Nothing would change from Raw and SmackDown. It would look exactly the same.
Exactly.
Except for they would have stuff behind the scenes happening on, you know, Women 05 Wrestling or whatever. I don't give a shit what you call it. WoW or Glow or...
They already have this.
I know. I'm copying.
Alita says he will be shamed. Alita says correct. And Sophie says, do you think they should make a women's version of the United States Intercontinental Championship
Yes.
instead of the women's tag team championship?
No. They can
Alita-
have it all.
Alita says Ramses was Egyptian. Yes, he was Egyptian,
was,
but
absolutely.
they did talk about...
The
He's
Egyptians
asking,
were
did
in
they
the
talk
Bible.
about him in the Bible? That's what the question is. Sophie says Ali and Kofi do have history that they haven't fully touched on. Without Ali being injured, there would have been no Kofi Mania.
You know the whole thing with Moses?
Every time, you know what's horrible about this show? Like watching this and the women's matches.
What is it?
The only thing I can think of when they're doing all these moves
Is
and
the
stuff,
smell.
that and queefing. Like all I can think about is fucking.
We apologize for Wrestling Gap. We had no idea that was going to be said.
It's what's his face off of South Park. The stuff when they did all
I get it.
whole episode they did.
Oh my God.
That's the only thing I can think of the whole time. I'm like, ew.
Oh my God, Shannon. Or whatever his wife's name is. Cheryl. Sharon. It's okay for men to do it, but not for us women. It's not even the same thing.
It's not the same, and it isn't. Like, if you're going to be farting, that's different. Farting out your butt.
Oh God, please stop.
What?
Is that even a thing?
Farting out your butt? Yes, people fart out their butts. Janelle Jackson's in the chat. Hey, Janelle. Says, do you think Big E cashes in successfully and becomes the WWE champion? I'm a little iffy on it. I don't trust WWE.
Mm-hmm. Follow
me. She threw her in the garbage. Poor Charlie. Oh.
Charlie will. Oh, look at the big pretty eyes.
So
Charlie's sad.
So sad.
Mansoor.
Alita's like, no, they don't talk about him in that book.
Is it not Ramses? Who's the king? That has freaking Moses.
Sophie says if they go that
I swear to
route
God, it's
with the
Ramses.
women's, they should make an all-women's brand. JVD says, no, I bet WWE is just trolling us with this Big E cash-in just for views. And people is laughing a lot. Who's the king that has Moses?
It's Ramses. It's got to be Ramses. I think it's Ramses' second.
Doling out punishment all over the place.
What in the world?
James says, so when will Dominic turn on his dad?
I don't know. I would assume pretty soon.
Sophie says the women's tag division is the same as the men's tag division. They don't have that many teams to compete for the tag championship.
They just don't.
Alita says Charlie is even. No, his father. Huh?
Mason T-Bar.
Alita, what kind of drugs did you take earlier, honey?
Percocet.
Because you words not make no sense.
We know Dio Madden can talk. He was one of the announcers, for crap's sakes.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
Yes.
But they don't let him talk very often, but they should. Look at these two dudes. That's what champions look like. They need to be tag team champions. They need to give relevancy to the tag team championships and let tag teams be tag team champions and take the titles off freaking the bros. And these guys, all these singles wrestlers.
The Egyptian pharaoh was King Ramses II.
It's pretty good. I was like, it's Ramses, but I wasn't sure if it was first.
In the Bible.
Right. I mean, if you've ever seen the Ten Commandments, it's on there too, but I don't ever remember. I did watch that this year, the Ten Commandments, on my own. Well, last year, I guess. Oh my god, that dude's a big dude. That's just a big human being.
Which one?
Omals.
Oh. Moss. Alita's like, I stopped in the middle of a thought. Okay.
Send.
You're like, and that's good enough. I'll confuse all of them. Good luck, Talitha. Thank you. Sophie's like, Extreme Rules only have 4 matches advertised for it so far. And the pay-per-view
That's okay, it's over 2 weeks away.
Next weekend. It is not next weekend, it is the weekend after next.
It's the 26th. The night after UFC and Anthony Joshua. So there's going to be 3 pay-per-views that weekend.
Polita says, yes is on Tube TV.
Huh, never heard of it.
Sweet.
The Yes, not the YouTube. I heard about that last week.
This match is brought to you by Kit Kat, everybody.
I literally learn
Need
a
to
new
have
thing
a
every day.
break.
What was the word I learned today?
Interpol?
Interpol. I was going to say inner tube. So Interpol, it's a private police force.
It's not a
for
private
92
police
different police forces across Europe, I guess.
It's not a private police force. It's an international.
Whatever. Same thing. It's a group of guys that are police.
It's a group of countries. Dork.
The Interpol is what they're called. They're probably spying on us now. They're like, these guys are out to get us. Trust me, I've never heard of you. I don't have any plans.
Oh, my lord. Yeah, just because you said it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You tell them.
You also got to remember, I didn't even know they made movies in other countries until a year ago. So therefore, I didn't know they had police forces in other countries that did CIA shit. Because I knew the KGB existed, but I don't know any of the other ones. Interpol. I just thought it was like the Kingsmen or something. Like, what's James Bond? What's he in? He's in something.
He's in just the FBI or like spies. It's just the
Yeah, but
British.
they have a name for that. I remember that. I've heard that
it's
one.
not real.
Oh.
It's not real. It's fake. It's made up by the author of the James Bond books.
All right. Anyways, we have an 8-man tag team match that's fascinating, obviously.
It is fascinating.
Looks like Mason T-Bar just cleaning house. I don't even know where they're just HA and Almost are just literally, they don't even give a shit about this match. They're just standing in their corner waiting for their tag. Oh, here they go.
What you did?
Look at the size of these guys. And you know Mason T-Bar are huge. huge dudes, and they look tiny.
Interpol is the International Criminal Police Organization.
That's what I said. Group of cops all over Europe.
It's made up of 194 member countries to work together.
I didn't even know there was that many countries in the world. Name me them all. Oh, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, please.
Sophie says, I say Dominic turns on Ray on the road to Mania, so they fight each other at Mania.
Wow, that's a long ways away. That's literally 7 months away.
Alita's going to climb that TV, the YouTube TV.
Climb it to
JBD
the
is
top.
laughing. Alita says, National Police Force. Sophie says, and all the matches for next weekend don't have any stipulations for them yet.
Right.
Alita's like, MI6 is real. It's not real.
MI6? Is that what
MI6
that's what it was. I remember
real.
that. He's 007. They're MX6 or whatever. MI6.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Where's Robbie? Did he fall asleep? The British Secret Intelligence Service, or MI6, was the creation of British novelist Ian Fleming. That's it. It's not real. It does not exist.
Or does it exist and they don't want you to know it
Doesn't
exists?
exist. It does not exist. Guys, it doesn't exist. Oh, somebody's like, today is September 13th. Yes, it is. Pickle's like, I thought Ian Fleming based it off of spy organizations. He probably did. But that doesn't make it real. He created it in his books. It's not a real thing. Guys.
It's MI7. He didn't want to get copyrighted, so.
Yeah, she does stuff.
She's a track star. All right, we are at a commercial break. Dalitha is Googling something.
Well, I wanted to
making
see
sure
because
that
Alina's like,
MI6
it's real. Okay, so it supposedly is, but I just don't see how it is if he created it. How all of a sudden it is. It used to be called the Secret Intelligence Service. Now it's supposedly MI6, which is hilarious to me. So when they talk about James Bond, they say Ian Fleming created it. So, like, it doesn't exist. Now it's like, no, but it exists, and it did exist at some point.
I bet you there's a guy named Ethan Hunt in the CIA.
Yes, that's probably...
That's a pretty common name, Hunt. Somebody to name their kid Ethan. Can you imagine going in there? What's your name? Ethan Hunt. They'd be like, what? BNS. What's BNS stand for? Bitch that needs some slapping. That's not spy. That's how I spy.
Yes, I spy.
She's in BNS. What's BNS mean? Bitch that needs some slapping. She's just booty blinded. It's like being snow blinded, but with a nice piece of ass. Eddie Murphy's my favorite, by the way. Yeah, Mulan might be the greatest cartoon ever because of Eddie Murphy. They like remade it, and I'm like, did they put Eddie Murphy in it?
Nope. They took a lot of stuff out.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
They took a lot of stuff out. They made it more woke and stupid. I refuse to watch it.
Did she become the emperor at the end?
No.
Look at that. Here he comes. Is that Xavier? Yeah.
But they don't have her in a love thing because, that's incorrect. And it's like, oh my God, just make it
Missile
how it
drop
was.
kick.
It's fine.
1, 2. Well, isn't it a true story? Wouldn't they make it like how it's supposed to be if it was
If
wrong?
they were going to do that, then they should have never made it a cartoon in the fucking first place. Don't make the cartoon and then remake it into something they think it should have been.
Boom! Frog splash off the top rope right onto his back.
So
I feel like you just feel like electricity went through you if that happened.
I'm sure you would. Sophie says, I could see them building to 2 pay-per-views at once with Extreme Rules next weekend and the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view in October.
Right, and then they might do something again right around that time.
Leah's like, books are based off of something, not just imagination. Well, I know he based it off something, but he literally called it exactly what it is. So you can't say that he
Invented it.
He
could have invented what happens there.
If he wrote the books and he's like, well, I based it off of my research of this stuff and I called it something different.
I'll leave with the save.
That's something else. But he's calling it exactly what it is.
Bam.
Therefore,
Mace, look at cleaning house. No one sword turns it around. Drops him down.
Wrong about the James Bond books and what Ian Fleming did. Ian Fleming
T-Bar.
is a fraud.
Gonna break his... Oh, he just threw his ass outside. And then he got kicked in the face by Xavier. AJ's back up. AJ ducks it. Pele kick.
It's a lot of...
Offense.
No, that's a lot of energy to expel for something so small and stupid.
That kick, yeah.
Like, but it looks cool.
Ollie tags himself in.
Does it look cool? Sophie says if The Rock shows up for Survivor Series, then
DDT.
they could start building to him versus Roman for Mania next year. If he doesn't, then they will have some other idea opponent for Roman for Mania next year.
Wouldn't it make a lot of sense just to use the guy that they have there that they're using?
Poor Ollie. Run away! Run away! Just run away!
He's heard of David and Goliath. He knows to do it.
Just run away! Oh my god, he didn't run away. You're supposed to...
Oh,
Jesus.
shit!
Just run away!
He should have ran.
He should have ran.
He should have put some track shoes on and
You
just took off.
Get out
Even
and
the
run
spikes,
around.
Even the spikes would work.
Throw somebody else in there. Alita's like, maybe you're Jack Reacher. You're Ethan...
Yeah.
Whatever, Jack Reacher. Because I was shaking my head. I was about to say that, and I love Mulan. Well, the cartoon version, right?
Never seen the other one. Look at this. It's 4-on-1, guys.
They're so dumb. I refuse to watch their whatever you call it
Movie?
people crap that they did with the cartoons. Do it with fucking Bambi, bitches. Get real hunters out there and have them hunt Bambi's mommy down and see how that works out for everybody.
1,
dumb
2,
bitches.
and 3.
He's like, I won. Look at me. I'm a
He
giant.
did it single-handedly. He's getting ready for a big push, but where are they going to push him to?
Nowhere. Because nobody's big enough. So, was it 4 against 4 or something?
It was.
Oh.
But he beat all 4 of them, so it was basically 1-on-4 at the end.
Oh, I meant like, so Mansoor and Ali were teamed up with the New Day people. Okay. Yes, people, that's it. Live action reboots make me want to barf.
I like
I don't like live action reboots, and I don't like that Disney decided that they should censor their own stuff. Just leave it how it is. Stop erasing things and move forward. Leave them how they are and just move forward. So annoying.
The future is changing the past.
Exactly. That's all they seem to do. Let's see. Sophie's like, I saw Cruella on Disney Plus. It wasn't that great. Actually,
I think
watched
she
that
loved
the other
it.
night. I didn't mind it, but I really like.
Yep.
What's her face? Emma Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I like Emma Stone. So
It was the first movie that I was ever kind of attracted to her in.
this
If
one,
you could say, because she looked pretty. And
Uh-huh.
all of the other ones I've never thought her of a pretty person.
right?
And this one she looked pretty, and it was the hair, the redhead, and then
When she
the
did
blonde
the
and the black. When it
black
was all
and
messed up
white.
and she's like all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's cute. Not like sexy. or
Oh,
anything.
she's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I set fires to feel joy.
Yep.
Oh, so adorable. Alita says Hitman Bodyguard touched on it as well. He's not a distraction. He's an annoyance. Nobody likes him. They tried and failed miserably. You're not able to hear it.
I heard it fine. I had to turn it back down. I turned it up too loud and it was hurting me. Because it's very high. It's a very high frequency. I need to run it through like an equalizer and bring the bass into it.
The almighty Bobby Lashley.
Was he booing?
Boo, yes. Yes, boo.
See those two gym rats working out together. It'd be pretty interesting. I have a feeling that Big E's stronger.
Mm-hmm.
There's geese flying over.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they flew at night.
I didn't think they flew this time of night either, but sometimes they do. They're like, we're a little late. My bad. Let's see. Alita says Hitman Bodyguard touched on it as well. Pico says supposedly the Mulan character was more of a know-it-all, and the training sequences were all non-essential because she didn't hide her gender as the original, right? Woke garbage.
Wait, so she was a woman in there?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have allowed that.
No, they wouldn't have. No matter what. No matter what era of China, it would have happened. Sophie says there's going to be a live-action Little Mermaid movie coming soon. Yeah, barf. Not going to ever watch that either. And Pugo says live-action reboot. Alita says, I used to hunt. And Rally's in the chat. Hey, Rally says, hi, Travis and Delita. Hope you're both okay. Sorry, joined stream late. Hope Raw is good tonight. It's not too bad.
It's doing okay. I think we're heading into that last hour.
Alita says, I would go out with my male friends.
Yeah, hunting's okay.
Sophie says, are they setting up a Omos versus AJ style WrestleMania feud like how they did with HBK versus Diesel?
Exactly is what I was thinking, but that ended up being for the championship. So this one is going to be a lot less climatic than that one. Unless they put a title on AJ, but I don't see that happening.
We're going to see this match again, huh?
But it never happened last time. She attacked her from behind.
Oh, that's right. Let's see. Ayla's in the chat. Hey, Ayla's
in here.
Us barf face with live action. I hate Disney Plus. JVD says, what's up, Ayla? And Ayla's like, Emma Stone looks kind of almost like your sister, Travis. No, she
not
doesn't.
Even a little.
Not even a little bit. Like, and I've watched a lot of Emma Stone's movies, and not even a smidge. Sophie says Disney Plus isn't that bad. It got every season of The Simpsons. JVD's like, Disney probably going to buy WWE. And Alita says Char Purple looked better. Alita says, what's up, JVD? And Alita says, I hope not. They will lose because I won't purchase it. Alita says, was that a burn? Yes. Sophie says,
I'm excited to see this.
La Brea?
I might try to watch this because I tried to watch that one. Do you remember that they did? And then
redid it on
then
Netflix?
It got really stupid. Transformia or something they called it. They had a time machine, and the world was kind of coming into an end, and so they all went back to the dinosaur days.
I don't remember that one.
Transformia. I can't remember what it was called. It was only on for 1 year, and it was stupid.
Sophie says, we know we are going to get Bobby versus AJ at some point, and also Roman versus Bobby. JVD says, I thought Dewdrop just got married today.
No idea.
I wouldn't know, JVD. I don't follow anything she does. It was like, I did like the Beauty and the Beast live action only because they hardly changed anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did like that
about
one.
that one.
That one was actually kind of good.
Yeah, I told her,
Lisa
I think I watched it by
she
myself.
Still has to work.
And I was like, they didn't change any of it.
Right? Yeah, just because she may have gotten married doesn't mean she can't. She just doesn't work that day.
She got married in America? Isn't she British? Wouldn't she want to get
JVD's
married with her family?
JVD says, I still haven't seen the live-action Lion King movie. Yeah, I won't. I refuse to watch most live actions of the Disney movies.
Not wanting to get married with her family?
No.
That's just weird.
Of live-action movies.
I'm talking about Dewdrop.
I know who you're talking about. JVD says he thought she got married today. That doesn't mean anything. Sophie says Beauty and the Beast live-action reboot was awesome. I saw it twice in theaters. Ayla's like, the live-action Lion King was basically just a Beyonce concert. It wasn't, though, because her daughter did it all.
I didn't know she had a daughter.
Yeah, stupidly named Blue Ivy.
No idea.
Which is even more garbage than her mother.
Is the poor kid's dad Jay-Z?
Yes. Yeah.
Poor
That kid's
thing.
fucked for the rest of its life.
Well, it won't ever have a normal life anyways, but
Yeah, it
no
won't.
matter who the dad would have been.
Alita's like, that was good. Pico says, JVD, yeah, me either. Sophie says, I saw the live-action Lion King movie. It was forgettable. And like most of them. It was like they cut out good parts so Beyonce could have her moment as a lion. Oh, that's nice.
Was she in it or something? Was she the mom?
The voice of it was... I know that her daughter voiced and did some of the singing, too. In The Lion King. It was a family affair. JB says, well, then I'm not watching the live-action Lion King movie. Yeah, no. I won't watch any... I mean, it's rare for me to want to watch a live-action. You know, I watched the... They did the Cruella thing before with 101 Dalmatians, and it was fine. I kind of like this because it was kind of how she became Cruella. It wasn't, this is Cruella DeVille and, you know, and this. It was how she became Cruella.
Right. It's a prequel.
That she wasn't always this horrible, mean person that wanted to skin animals. You know what I mean? Like, you know, kind of thing. So it was kind of interesting. Now, whether or not she continues to stay that way, I doubt it. Because, you know, in the cartoon, she's not. Or in the movies of it, she's not. It was like, oh, well, her daughter. Yeah. And JVD's like, the poor kid, right? It was like, I don't know, she's someone saying. Yeah. Sophie's like, my mom is watching a show I have ever heard of before called Family Affair.
Did that hit you?
Not that loud, because mine's turned down pretty far, because I asked you to do it the other day, because it was so loud in my head.
Eva Maria.
Evil Maria.
Look at, she's wearing that old outfit that she used to wear.
Her boobs are very jiggly.
Oh, that's horrible.
What?
What's
They
wrong with
jiggle when she
boobies?
walks. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
She's blowing you a kiss.
Not me.
Everybody at home.
They're like, oh, you know.
All right, are we actually going to get a match? There it is, a real bell. Eva ducked it. Takes her right hand right to Dewdrop's face. What did they call her? Biscuit or something?
Dewdrop?
What do you guys call her on here? Country biscuit or something?
Dumpling.
Dumpling.
It was like, did you guys watch the new movie Malignant?
Did her
Awful.
shirt break again?
I have not watched the new movie Malignant.
Huh.
But it sounds like it's awful. It's named Malignant.
Cut it off.
Alita's like, Blue has a nice voice. And Ayla's like, watch it. It's on HBO. Yeah, because it's awful. No,
What is it?
Malignant.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a movie that came out. Sophie's like, they signed her back and look at all the talents they released because of budget cuts. Let that sink in.
That's okay. She looks fantastic.
Nicola says they had advertised a whole bunch on that Malignant movie, so it was garbage. It looked like garbage. I wouldn't have
Who
watched
played
it.
in it? Brad Pitt or somebody? Like, where are we talking about it?
It's on HBO Max.
Well, I
or
know,
whatever.
but usually only there's good actors or movies good, right? Ugh.
Just because there's good actors in it doesn't mean that it's a good movie.
If Denzel's in it, it's good. I've never seen a bad movie with Denzel Washington in it.
It has not one person in it that I even know.
Maybe it's new people. Are they like a young, is it like the Disney bunch?
No, it's it's a horror film.
Oh.
So basically, it's like probably a D acting movie.
Oh, dude, drops that big elbow right down on the chest to Eva. If at first you don't succeed, cheat. 1, 2, 3. Why a squash match? I don't understand this storyline.
Why Dewdrop's getting all the wins over Eva Marie in squash matches?
Yeah, Corey, you might get in trouble for that comment, but that's funny. I liked it.
That he wants to scoop up what's the rest of Eva Marie.
He needs a spatula because she's flattened. It's very...
Yeah, Connor's cure during September, everybody. Let's see. Sophie says they signed her back and look at all the time. He calls us that. Vindication says, Travis, I want to know if you are inspired by Eva. Corey Graves said everyone should be inspired by all her pink glory.
The Eva Rushin, yeah, Eva Rushin. It's Eva and Rusev. Eva Rushin.
Ayla says, if you want to be angry, confused, and laugh, definitely watch it. I don't know, it's in theaters too. JVD says, has anyone watched the movie The Greasy Strangler?
No.
My God, that movie is shit drizzling bad. It sounds like it's shit drizzling bad, dude.
Anyways, we are getting a Karrion Kross, but it doesn't look like we're getting a match.
We're just getting a sighting. He's talking. He's inflicting suffering on people. Oh, we're seeing what he did to Keith Lee. Ooh, how exciting. Oh, it's going to continue.
He's beating everybody.
Pico says, I really want to watch that new Hugh Jackman movie.
Probably. I like Hugh Jackman movies.
Reminiscence. Yeah, that one that Gerald Butler one that came out called Cop Shop looks kind of interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is in the chat saying Eva Marie Hart, and Ayla says straight trash, a complete dumpster fire. So Fat Lisa might enjoy it. Alita's like, yes, Piccola. Chris says Malignant was not trash, but it turned out to be more of a superhero or villain movie per se.
Oh.
Alita's like, fitting. Ayla's like, no, Chris, ha ha ha, it didn't. And Chris is like, better promo by Cross. And Piccola says, hi, I thought you were saying Eva Rushin, a Chinese accent.
Eva Rushin. I can't do those. I can't pull
fried
any.
rice.
I can't do any accent.
I get in trouble. Uncle Benny accent.
Yeah, from Lethal Weapon.
Yes. Uncle Benny.
It's here, guys. Main event time. Big E cash in. Huh? Question.
Question. Because, like, I mean, Ayla, you're not wrong. And Chris is like, maybe Scarlett will show up on one of these promos.
I was hoping so.
Wouldn't that be great if they actually brought her back? Wouldn't that be fantastic? He actually might have some, like, real hope. 15th world championship.
15-time world champion. You know, there are people out here that really believe that Randy can win this and then end up losing it to Big E. I can't see Randy winning this. I just can't see it. Bobby's too hot. But Randy did beat the Scottish Psychopath in his prime last year. Mm-hmm. It wasn't for long, but he did beat him.
He did. Did beat Psychopaths. It was like, it's okay, Fat Lisa. I didn't like it personally. Reminiscence. It was also on HBO. It wasn't terrible, though. Vindicator says Cross could take out McIntyre just so Dalitha could enjoy your Monday nights a little better.
I'd like to see that.
That'd be lovely.
But I think that won't happen because I have a feeling that McIntyre's going to go over and challenge Roman for the next month or 5.
Barf. Alita says giving him Black's storyline. Giving Karrion Kross Aleister Black's stuff. He might be able to pull it off a little better. JVD says, did anyone see Titanic?
Like the movie in the 90s?
As Alila says, it was very slow with not a lot of build-up. I don't think she's talking about Titanic, but it was a perfect description. Sorry.
Well, we already know what happened. It's a very famous story.
I was like, no, JVD, what's that about? Chris is like, well, I want to say Malignant was trash, but it's just most movie critics are saying it was intentionally bad and are being so meta about it, so I don't know what to really think of it. Well, just form your own opinion. And if you say it was trash because you didn't like it because you watched it, then that's different. You know, don't go by what critics are saying. If they're saying that it was an intentionally bad movie, then why the fuck did they make it? I mean, come on now. That's like saying, well, there's no way that Rob Zombie could ever make really good horror movies, and then he made the best horror movies.
He made good ones.
Well, I mean, for the time period.
They're like legendary movies that he remade also, like Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is a hard thing to do, and he did a good job.
Yeah. Will Lashley says, he better not take my title or I am done for. JVD's laughing. Alita's like, not dark enough. Piccolo's laughing. And Ayla says, sounds good. Vindicator says, Randy should never win another title and just retire. He's hanging on too long, just like Hogan, Savage, Luger, Flair, Kane, Triple H, and Cena.
It's all they do. It's all they know. They got to be in that ring entertaining people. Look at Rick. He's on a commercial right now. In his Charlotte blue colors.
He's like, I'm in my robe.
My buddy talks to me about these. He
He
talks about this on Brett. All day we'll talk about this commercial. He's like, you know Ric Flair, right? He's like, 16-time world champion.
Like, oh my God.
Sitting in his pink chair with his robe on with feathers all over it. He doesn't even know who the guy is, by the way.
Pete Cole's like, I honestly think the people on the Titanic were just extras in Ghost Ship. Think about it. That's funny. It was like, I thought it was a joke, Malignant. It was so bad it was comical, like scary movie type spoof.
Oh, shit. That's pretty funny, actually.
JB's like, Titanic was a horror film, I think. It probably was. Chris like, no, Rob Zombie Halloween movie was trash. It was like, oh, Ghost Ship, love that. And JBD's like, Piccolo, yes. And Piccolo says, I know, right? That movie messed me up. JBD's like, Ghost Ship scared the fuck out of me. Lita's like, right, that was a good movie. It was like when that wire cut everyone in half. Ooh.
Oh, I remember that. I've never seen the show, but I remember that scene.
In Ghost
My
Ship?
mom was watching it.
Oh.
And, like, the cable was stuck and the boat was doing something, and all of a sudden it just went. Cut everybody in half.
Should make McKenna watch it. She likes horror movies. Chris like, sure, Rob Zombie Halloween was brutal killing-wise, but storyline-wise, it's complete garbage.
Yeah, no, I like the other ones where, like, with the family of killers that he has. I can't remember the name of the series, but I think there's 3 or 4 of them now.
I wasn't talking about his remakes. I was talking about the ones that he did.
Yeah, these ones, one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like it's called like Hell on Earth or something. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I was talking about those, not his remakes of stuff. I would rather do. I would rather see the originals any day of those. Sorry.
Right, I like the Halloween though. He did a really good job with that, but.
Yeah, well, everybody thinks that it was garbage.
He just did it realistic because Michael Myers was so strong, and a lot of those movies they made Michael Myers get weaker and weaker and weaker. Mm-hmm. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax next week.
Ooh, it's happening. They're angry at each other.
A shitty build up to their breakup, but it's finally happened.
It looks like Vindicator says Final Destination movies are scary. JB
Aren't
says,
they?
Ayla, I agree. Alita says, now that was funny. Chris says, I can't wait for Halloween Kills. Ayla's like, I just watched all 5. Vindicator first 2 are good. The rest are hilarious. Alita says, oh, I love those movies. And Piccolo says, I know Final Destination had some awesome kills.
Like a truck driving down the road and logs just come shooting off of it and kill everybody.
What's really sad is shit like that happens in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like girls getting killed with rocks on freeways.
Yeah.
Through windshields.
Yeah, like a 9-year-old or something.
Yeah. That actually happened in our area, by the way. It was like they had Michael run in the remake. They took the scary out of him. Are you talking about the Rob Zombie one, or are you talking about the remake that they did?
I think they've done quite a few different ones.
Because they've done so many of them that it's just dumb, but the Rob Zombie ones aren't bad. Like, the originals are good, except for one of them.
3.
Yeah, that one.
Fuck the witch one.
That one's fucking-
It's not even a Halloween movie. I don't
fucking
understand
dumb
why
as
it's
fuck.
in the series. It makes no sense. The season of the witch.
Bleh.
This is the season
JB's like, I
of
miss
the
watching
witch.
Roseanne. Dan was my favorite. Alita says he came back to life too much.
That shit's on. Like, he's getting married. It's called The Connors now. And he's getting married to some lady. I just watched the previews for it, like, yesterday.
You're funny.
What?
Picole's like, the Connors, is it still on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
guess
getting
it
married.
is. I wouldn't watch that shit.
Dan's marrying somebody else. Did Roseanne die?
Yeah, they got rid of her.
Well, I
That's
know the
how they got rid
story,
of her,
but
yeah.
did she die?
Yeah, that's how they got rid of her.
Okay.
They killed her.
Like
They
a heart
killed her
attack or
off.
something?
Like she had like some painkiller
Overdose.
addiction or some shit.
Oh, they
or
wrote her off in
something.
a bad way, too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't like her anymore. So, I don't know why anybody would watch that shit. That show is just fucking garbage. That's a dumpster fire and a half itself.
That's like Ayla's favorite show, by the way.
Roseanne isn't. The Connors is. The Connors she's not a fan of. She doesn't watch it because
All right. Oh, the
It
bell
doesn't
was to
have
just to do
Roseanne
the
in it.
announcing. Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, the Viper.
Chris says, I wish Scream was more brutal like Halloween, but Scream was never the same after Scary Movie because now we can't help but laugh at Ghostface Killer, and he is funny sometimes.
Right. I've never seen the spoofs, so I'm good. I'm clean there. But I have seen the originals.
I've seen like little pieces of them,
What's
but
your
I've
favorite
never
scary movie?
But I've never watched the whole thing. Like I've seen like clips here and there, but never like the whole movie of Scary Movies. I can't. That Anna Faris I fucking can't stand her. Like I like her in the show Mom, and that's it.
Yeah,
But
you watched that, or
I
you did.
I cannot stand her in movies. Like the way she talks and acts just drives me bonkers.
She's breathy.
Yes, and if she acts like that in real life, I don't blame him for fucking getting rid of her. Jesus. I couldn't stand being married to that. I'd be like, ew, why'd I have
Do you
kids
want me
with
to
you?
be breathy?
Ugh. It's like those cats.
All right, there's the bell. This match is official. Randy rolls to the outside. Very wise.
But I just don't understand why Bobby goes after
Got about
him.
22 minutes.
It's like, just don't go after him.
Randy's a veteran. He knows what he's doing.
I know, but it's like, okay. So Bobby should just stay in there and be like, hey, stay out there then. Just stay out there. It's fine.
Now,
Don't wear yourself out.
Bobby is also a veteran.
Ayla says he was scary because he's slow. Rob Zombie. The only great ones of the original was the first two. Same with Jaws. Vindicator says Final Destination made me scared of power tools being left on.
Look at this. Look at this.
Ooh. JVD says, yeah, I haven't watched The Connors. Ayla's like, I can't watch The Connors. It breaks me. Pico says, so the one BF ended up being the nerdy guy in Big Bang Theory? Yes.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
Alita says, okay, my meds are working. I thought they were working a while ago, but okay, that's good. Chris is like, Jobby
Alright.
Trashly. Piccolo says, I was traumatized.
What?
Vindicator going through a car wash with a moonroof.
That's funny.
It was like the best horror movie ever. Hear me out and watch it yourself. Thanks, killing. And zombie verse. Thank me later.
Thanks, killing and zombie-verse.
Whatever.
I
It's
like
not
it.
a horror movie, but a thriller movie that's really good. And it's actually a Disney movie. It's called The Watcher in the Woods. It's actually pretty good.
Pretty good stuff.
Anyways, but we do have the champion out here trying to keep his title away from Randy Orton.
I would say The Ring is the one that did me the worst out of any movie. But other than that, and it's not even a scary movie, it's more of a psychological movie, but there is scary parts in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, the movie that scared me the most, absolute most, because I used to think there was something wrong with my brain, was A Beautiful Mind. And that, I mean, it's not even close to a scary movie.
Right.
But it was for me. I used to think that I was that crazy. Found out I was just smart.
Oh, that's just smart.
I wasn't just hanging fucking pictures on the wall and think I was code breaking.
That's funny.
That's what he did.
Yes, he did.
Like, he just had all this magnificent stuff, and you're like, oh, this is crazy. And then you go out in the garage, and it's just, like, weird shit. Like, it's not even real. Like, it's just newspaper. Like, there's nothing that's even coded.
Yeah.
But he had it all, you know, beautiful looking in his mind, because that's what we're looking through is his mind.
Mm-hmm.
He finally just stopped taking his medication because he realized that he got old, but none of his friends did. You ever seen Beautiful Mind? It's so awesome.
I probably have maybe once.
It's Russell Crowe. But none of his friends get older. The little girl's still a little girl. The dude's, his college roommate's
So
still
it's all
the
in
same.
his head.
But he doesn't realize it for fucking like 40 years. And then he's like an older man, like an old man. And his friends are all the same age as they were. And that's when he's like, so then he could just ignore him. Then it was over. His schizophrenia was over because they were young kids. They weren't real.
Right.
He knew they were not real. But they would put him on this medication and it would just destroy his mind.
Right.
And so he didn't like to be on it. So he'd quit taking it. And then he'd start code breaking because the agent would show up at his house
Yeah.
and give him another code. And so he'd go in the garage and... But there was nothing.
There was nothing. It was just him.
There was
Making it all
no...
up.
Yeah, there was no agents or anything.
Yeah. Vindicator's like, yeah, drowning while your car gets all sparkly is a lousy way to go. Chris says The Strangers is an awesome horror movie. Alita says Room and Done. JVD says The Blair Witch scared me too.
Oh, fuck.
Until if you found out it wasn't real. When they ruined it, that was the worst thing they could have ever done. Vindicator says The Grudge is also nightmare fuel.
The Grudge and The Ring are my two.
Alita says Just Dawn did me in. Chris says Silence of the Lambs. Piccolo says Ela, there's a recent scary movie called Aqua Slash. It's about a slasher water park. JVD says House on Haunted Hill also scared me.
Right? I watched that in the theater. And this is the exact thing that went through my head. I was sitting there and I saw freaking Chris Kattan. And I was like, oh, this movie's going to be fucking stupid. Because Chris Kattan is a comedian, you know?
Right? He's not
Porky Ramato.
Yeah, he's not a serious
And
guy.
I'm just sitting there, and all of my buddies and us were in the theater, and
Not
we're
at the
just like,
Roxbury.
we're like, oh, you got to be shitting me. This is going to be a comedy, you know? And it was not a comedy. The house, like, locked itself down, and he was all, like, serious acting, but he was, like, mean. It was pretty funny, because it's Chris
funny.
Kattan. But.
That's like the series of Red Rose. That's a, what's his face? Stephen King book that they made into a TV series, like a 4-part series or whatever it was. That one was pretty good. I like that one. Where the house kind of is like the thing that's after everybody. Alita's like Silence of the Lamb was good. Hell yeah, it was. It was a good show. Vindicator's like, right now, Alexa Bliss is a never-ending horror story. Pickle says I went back and watched The Butterfly Effect. It's so cringe. Right? Remember when you first watched it, you're like, oh, wow, this is so crazy. Then you watch it now and you're like, you can't think of Ashton Kutcher a different way. You're just like, oh my God, you cannot be serious that he's in this stupid this movie.
Never seen it at all. But on Hot Tub Time Machine, they reference it. Mm-hmm. It's like the butterfly effect. You step on a bug and a butterfly flaps its wings and there's a hurricane in Tokyo or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that movie's so good. But I've never seen it, so.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've ever heard said about it is, oh, that movie's so good.
It looks like Chucky terrified me as a kid. April made me watch that, Hellraiser, and The Leprechaun.
Yeah, Leprechaun's weird. Hellraiser was scary, but it was weird. I was a kid, so I probably don't understand what was happening. So I just saw a guy with pins in his head.
Right.
Like nails.
Vindicator's like, LOL. I love Pinhead. Ayla's like, hash slinging slather. And Alita's like, yep. And Ayla's like, slasher. Ayla's like, Blair Witch was bomb. I still love it. JVD says, also when I was like 5, The Wizard of Oz scared me.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
All those little people.
All the creepy midgets in there. I'm just...
Alita's like, sometimes they come back. Pickle's like, JVD, bro, those flying monkeys are terrifying. JVD's like, the exorcism of Emily Rose scared me too.
To death, right? Like when her roommate woke up in the dorm room and she looks over and that bitch is on the floor. Holy shit, that gave me nightmares. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not gonna be able to sleep for like a month after seeing that. The only part in the movie that scared me though, and it was just like, oh shit, no they didn't. You son of a bitches.
Getting Randy some air.
Randy's getting beat up.
That's weird. Because like I get scared more by red demons, like Insidious freaks the fuck out of me.
Right. Jeepers Creepers.
It was like, oh, Rose Red. Oh my God, I love that. I watched that not too long ago. Graham recorded it for me when I was a kid on VHS, right? Yeah, it's a good series. It's like what, a 4-part series or something like that. I have the actual DVDs of that. JVD says Pickle, I had nightmares. The Vindicator's like, Langoliers was the worst Stephen King movie adaptation, but Silent Hill is magnificent because it's not Stephen King. JVD says, remember the Gremlin movie?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Ayla's like, watch those when you're 5, you'll never sleep again. Pickle's like, I would hate watching Pet Sematary. The one creepy lady, yikes, goosebumps. Right?
Yeah, Pet Sematary is a tough one as a kid too. Gage. I literally have a cousin that named his kid Gage from that movie.
So weird.
Adam.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bobby's just grinding down on Randy here. Riddle's got them chanting Randy.
Randy, they're chanting. I'm trying to think what you would call it, like a mini-series, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, Randy into the ropes, picked up, slammed behind. No! Randy fell off. Takes him down with a lariat. Another one. It's hard to get back into this match because I haven't been watching it. All right, Randy's up top.
Yeah.
Punching him in the head.
He's punching him in the head. The other Stephen King
7,
miniseries
8,
I really liked was
9.
called Kingdom Hospital. That one was really good too.
Yeah, it was good.
Pico says, well, and that was hard, Gab, LOL. Alita's like, made me rethink about cats. Oh, Pet Cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I want cats.
I don't want to bury it in the
They already have 9 lives
graveyard.
in their assholes. Not sure I want to do that some more.
All right, here's that DDT. Patented DDT. Bobby's in trouble. Here comes that RKO.
Vindicator's like, Randy is so tiny next to Bobby, just like Drake Maverick next to LA Knight. This match should have been over.
I don't know about that, but Randy's taller than he is. Mm-hmm. There it comes. If he hits this RKO, it's done. Nope.
Oh, he
Bobby
didn't get it.
bounced him
Bobby
off.
got him.
There's
Oh,
a spear.
Speared him.
That's got to be it. 1, 2, and 3. No, Randy kicked out.
Randy kicked out of it.
He got that shoulder up, just rolled it up.
It's like, put him in your hold. Punch him in the face.
That was it. He's going to have to hit him with 2 spears. Also on year 1, when they break a spear in half. Oh, great. 2 spears.
Nunchucks.
What happened to your spear? Turned it into a snub nose. When they broke it because he stabbed Itabody Gacy in the arm.
Right? He's like, where's your head? Gotcha, right in the ear. Oh,
There it is.
There's the RKO.
RKO out of nowhere, but it looks like Bobby rolled out. He's going to have to roll him towards him now. Nope,
Bobby's like, no.
Hey, I think
MVP's
MVP
like,
got
what?
involved a little bit there. Now this is when Big E needs to come down. And make it a triple threat the rest of the way. They do that.
Oh, Randy's going to get him in the back there. Oh.
Riddle. He's laying next to him. Twitching with him.
Oh, Jesus.
Randy, you better get in the ring. You're going to get counted
Until
out.
Martha's like, that's impossible. Nobody could kick out of this spear like that.
He did it, though, somehow. Some way.
Somehow he...
Will he
kicked
do
out
it
of
again,
his
though, because
spear.
Bobby's missing. There's a bigger spear. That should probably be it, guys. 1, 2, and 3. Randy wasn't paying attention.
He wasn't. He was too worried about MVP
There's still
out there.
9 minutes
There
left.
is. He was too worried about what was happening outside of the ring, and he shouldn't have been. Now, it'd be really stupid for Big E to come down.
Right now.
Because...
But Randy can still RKO him again.
He could.
See?
But...
Riddle could hit him with his finisher.
Like, oh, get out. And he's like, I landed on my feet. He's like, I'm trying to get away.
Lashley won the match. Riddle's in deep trouble.
Because, like, Riddle is clowning, or JVD's, like, Riddle laughing. I think he's broken. Is he? Is he out cold? Is he? This match is over.
Now, this is where Randy can
dude,
hit him with that. He can do it so quick.
We really need to,
It's such a quick, snappy move. Oh, slammed him right through the table. And Bobby collapsed. He hurt himself. Bobby hurt himself.
Uh-oh.
Bobby hurt himself, guys. Cash in, maybe? Since he can't walk?
Is it a ruse?
We still got 7 minutes.
It's like, I got the swag.
Here he comes.
And he was like, all right, guys, suitable main event, I guess, hoping for fresh talent to face Bobby going forward.
Here it
You
is.
might see it now. He might cash in. Anyway, see you guys on Philip Jack Brooks Celebration Night. Bye. All right, Ben, are you sure you want to do it? Because
Big E's out there.
E's like, I've got this, and I'm going to cash in.
He hasn't rang the bell yet. He has to ring the bell first. Still no bell, though. Still no bell.
No bell commercial.
No bell, and then we go to commercial. There's not going to be enough time.
The lady's sleeping on her sandwich. That's gross.
That's what you need to do, you know.
So you eat your people?
Oscar De La Hoya does.
I guess.
Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Pickle is like, oh man, here we go. Maybe, I don't know. They went to commercial break before we saw anything
And
happening.
a commercial usually lasts about 4 minutes. So we're going to have 2 minutes left. So Big E's just going to win. So the whole time the commercial's going, he's just going to be in the ring just pacing while Bobby's trying to get...
A foot under him?
What the fuck? I don't know if I heard a bell. I was trying to listen
There was
for
no
a
bell. I didn't hear a bell. There was no bell before they went to commercial. Alita says, get that knee together. Something. It was like very anticlimactic doing this. Is it? Is that what you're talking about? Is it?
It's
Is
so
it?
weird.
Is it? I was like, here we go again. Do you loving this? Oh, my gosh, yes. I just can't wait. Yeah. Sorry, guys, but I really don't like Big E, and I don't want him to be a champion, like, ever. I don't like him as a champion. Ugh.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Like Bobby Lashley as a champion.
I want Bobby to stay champion, but...
Roberto says, y'all have a good night. See y'all for SmackDown Friday. Alina says it's going to be a wash on the Money in the Bank briefcase.
That's tough. I mean, he's got to win. They can't not cash in the Money in the Bank again. Right? I mean, I guess they did last year with The Miz, but... Or this year.
Yeah, they did. And it's not like he has to do it right now. I mean, my God. Like, seriously?
Well, it's done.
He can keep it for how long?
We got 4 minutes.
Robbie's like, something, and Robbie says, D always hating. Oh, you know it. Just a hater. Just don't like him. I've never been a fan. Like, I didn't all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, one day I woke up and say, do you know what? Today I don't like Big E.
She's quitting texting.
You sound like you really need some counseling work there, girl. I think nicotine is one of your small problems. I was like, D, why is Biggie even in the title picture? Because he has Money in the Bank
won
briefcase,
the Money in the Bank briefcase.
So he deserves a chance. Had something. I have no idea. It really doesn't appeal to me.
All right, guys, it's official. Bobby can't even stand up. Will Big E be proud of his cash-in?
I haven't heard a bell yet.
3 minutes. All right, guys, now we're in an official match.
Well, it is like, have a year to cash in. I know, right? Like, you have a whole year. Robbie's like, no, D, no, he doesn't deserve a chance. Well, I don't think so, but...
Bobby's still limping, but he's being physical with the big man. Okay, he moved. Big E speared him right in that leg. Here's the big ending. Okay, Bobby slid off the back. Hit him with the spear. Get him, Bobby. Get him, Bobby. No! Big E kicked out.
People was like, yeah, why does WWE choose cashing in so quickly now?
I don't understand
know.
it. They did a big court case and stuff with The Miz last year. It was pretty good. Bobby Lashley picks him up. He's got that bad knee, though. Here's the big ending. That's the big ending. It's over. 1, 2, 3. Big E is your new WWE champion. Something definitely changing in the air. So Big E is your new WWE champion. That is a very, very interesting way to go about changing the title off Bobby.
I have no idea what you did with it. Yeah, anyways, we're just celebrating and stuff, so that's it. Let's see. Robbie says this is wasted if he wins. Will Lashley or Chop's like, no. Will Lashley's like, I quit. Roberto's like, Biggie did it. Clapping it. Robbie's like, what a joke. My gosh, that's gonna be fraud. Toledo's like, yes. JB's like, holy shit, they did it. Robbie's like, boo.
That's tough. That's a
Fucking
tough.
garbage. Fucking motherfucking garbage. What a fucking lame ass fucking shit. Fucking garbage doesn't deserve that. What a fucking piece of shit. This is fucking dumb. I knew this fucking shit was stupid, but wow. Wow, that just made it even more dumb. Wow. I was like, Biggie, nah man, this is why AEW was better.
That's tough. It is a tough pill to swallow, but
Fuck that shit.
it happens.
Wow.
I mean, Miz did it to
garbage.
Drew McIntyre. Now we're seeing,
Fuck.
and maybe it is just a transitional champion, so they can put it on somebody else.
He doesn't fucking deserve to be a fucking champion at all at this point.
Maybe they could bring Brock in and do that angle, and then have Bobby come back at Mania to beat Brock. If that's what they're doing
if he even
here.
holds it for even a month, it's fucking dumb.
Well, I would assume if Brock gets drafted to Raw, the draft's going to work like this: first pick, second pick, Brock, Roman, Brock. I don't see Brock getting drafted to the same show as Roman, unless they want the champions that way. And then that means that Big E, if he was still champion, would be drafted fourth. But they could do that match before the draft. So they could have Brock beat him, because they don't want Brock to come in and beat Lashley. That wouldn't set up the fight.
Right.
But they could have Brock beat Big E and then Bobby beat Brock later. Or at least fight him, depending on how they want to go about it. But anyways, good thing I turned it back on to turn it off. But.
Right. Anyways, Alita's like, go to sleep, Robbie. Good night. Robbie's like, they've done it for the kids. JD's like, wow, well, take care, everyone. Robbie's like, Alita, WWE fooked it. Nicole's like, yeah, I don't know why this on a random Raw doesn't make sense.
It kind of does if you think about it. If Brock's coming, if they bring Brock over to this side to be champion
against Roman,
right? Maybe they want Brock to be the champion because he can carry.
They would rather see fucking Big E lose to Brock than fucking Bobby Lashley. So instead, they had Bobby Lashley lose to a fucking shit fuck like Big E.
Right.
Wow.
Because of Orton. Right. But it sets up a bigger match that we all want to see with Brock and Bobby. But Bobby coming in to beat Brock, if they go that route. For all I know, they did this. I like having a champion that's beatable, because Big E's beatable. He's not the great,
Whatever.
Bobby
They'll
Lashley.
just throw him out there like they do fucking Xavier Woods, how he's so great all of a sudden.
Well, what I'm getting at is he can
Everybody
be
is
beat, and now we can
unbeatable.
have other champions. Where Bobby was champion, it was kind of log jammed, just like Roman. Roman being champion log jams it, but if Roman was to lose it, there's a lot of other guys you'd like to see champion. You know, like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, maybe not you, but other people. But they can't do that while it's on Roman, and we couldn't see new champions while it was on Bobby. But now we can get AJ can be champion again. Omos could be champion. T-Bar Mace, anybody can beat Big E, right? Big E.
But that's pretty pathetic. That's pathetic. So what you're saying, though, is you're taking a championship that should be the best, where they should be completely almost unbeatable, and giving it to these mid-card rejects.
Right.
That, oh, well, though anybody can win. Hey, participation trophy for everybody everywhere.
Right, but what I'm getting at is now we get to see some title changes. Where if Bobby is unbeatable and Roman's unbeatable, the champions never change. That's all I'm saying, is it just gives hope for other wrestlers that, shit, now anybody can win the championship.
Yeah, because it's garbage. I look at that championship now is just complete trash.
Right, but it
Like,
was a
it's a
cash
fucking
in
mid-card
on...
garbage piece of shit championship. That championship means nothing.
Right.
Means absolutely nothing.
It's the WWE championship, so it's a big one. But
It means nothing. It means if the person who won it and how they did, it means absolutely nothing.
Right. But what I'm getting at is now we can see the title change, maybe even 3 or 4 times, unless they bring Brock in, because then Brock's going to log jam it back up. But it gives hope for other people. I mean, anybody can be drafted to Raw now, and it just changes the game. And who knows, Bobby could win it back at Extreme Rules. We have no idea what they're planning on doing.
Right.
But anyway,
I'm sure they'll just have Drew go after it again. It'll just be a Drew
I don't
thing. Oh no,
think so.
It'll be him. They'll have him doing it.
No, because he's a
it'll
baby
be-
face, and so is Big E. They wouldn't go.
Well, why
that
not?
route.
He's not really that much of a baby face. He's
Who?
kind of a dick.
No,
Drew is.
No, he's
he
a
cheats
uber
a little
baby.
bit to win. I mean, come on now.
Uber.
They'll do it.
Anyways, you're off subject.
That's still talking about the championship and
It's
who's
not
going to go after
right,
it.
but that's not
They're just
happening.
gonna
They're
throw
moving
the
him.
same garbage
They're
as
moving
they
him at.
always have.
They're changing the roster up. So start looking at the SmackDown people. Who from SmackDown's coming over? Is it going to be Cesaro? Is it going to be Shinsuke Nakamura? Is it going to be... and then you can look at some Raw guys, because some Raw guys will stay around. Is it going to be The Miz? Is it going to be somebody from NXT? Is it going to be Karrion Kross? That'd be a perfect one. You see what I'm saying? Like, now we can start fantasizing. But Karrion against Bobby, Bobby wins. But Karrion can beat Big E. So we have hope for title changes. Eventually it'll get log jammed again. But
It literally just makes that championship just garbage. Like, it means absolutely nothing. Like, it's not even exciting to think about who's going to go up against him, because it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, that championship literally does not matter at this point.
right, but sometimes it's nice
like
to have that.
It's like the 24/7 championship right now. It means nothing.
Sometimes it's nice to have that, because then you cheer for the other person.
It's just a big joke. And they won't have anybody that'll go up against it that I would even probably remotely want to cheer for. If they do, I'll be very fucking
It's going to be
surprised.
heels, so any of the heels.
Yeah, okay. And are any of the hills right now any good?
It could be Keith Lee, for all we know.
He's not a hill. He's a baby face.
But he
good
could
guy.
become
He's
a
not
top heel.
going to be a
We
heel.
don't know. We haven't seen it. You got to let...
No way they're going to make him a heel.
Wrestling is this. Sit back and watch, see what happens. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
It's like,
well,
oh, where
I
are they
don't
going?
wanna watch it
Where
anymore.
are they going with this storyline? Sit back and watch.
Yeah, well, it's a fucking stupid shit. Fucking just dumb. Fucking New Day crap. Barf. Anyways, Robbie's like, that was so bad, I hope it's not for long. Yeah, so Big E will be so unbearable. And Raleigh says, I am so happy for Big E. That was such a good ending to Raw. Loved it. He totally deserves it. See what happens next. Wonder who he faces. Bobby again or Randy Orton? Maybe wait and see. Rise like Big E makes me want to puke. But Alita's like Trashly and... Yeah, but at least he made a better champion, because the one that's there now is just
But
garbage.
that's just opinion. It's all opinions. Right?
Yeah, and I have a right to have my own opinion too,
Right.
just like everybody else. Anyways, Robbie says, Big E, good luck on keeping the title longer than a month. Yeah, you shouldn't even have it for a fucking day. Anyways, All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. If you want to watch anything to do with NXT, go ahead over to Joe DeBest Wrestling TV. He usually does
NXT Watch-Alongs tomorrow night.
Watch-Alongs tomorrow night for Tuesday. It is going to be their new
NXT 2.0.
NXT 2.0. Yeah, so, yeah, if you want to see what the new branding is going to be, you should head over that way. Anyways, we'll definitely be back on Wednesday. So, we'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW.
We appreciate it. Thanks for watching Wrestling Gap. Bye-bye.